skidding on a...
No, you wouldn't.
William.
So there's a bit of that goes on, and yeah,
A bit boggy.
It can get a bit like that. So that's the reason the ground. Look, the ground's in great nick all the same. Look, it'd be great to play out there, but yeah, it's not as pristine as what we've seen during the year.
Okay, first game up for grabs. Now we'll change to the final series. Normally we have the like the AFL qualifying and elimination finals, but we've got 4 elimination finals: first versus 8th, second versus 7th, third versus 6th, and fourth versus 5th. And this is top Oakleigh on the back of some big wins, percentage boosters. Perhaps the game we did the other week sort of bumped their percentage right up. And Gippsland with a good win last week, maybe a surprising win over Murray, got themselves into 7th and pushed the Northern Knights back into 8th in their first final series for quite some time. Also, the Northern Knights, it's been a long time between drinks since they've had a victory over the red and blue of Oakleigh. So, and I'm sure, and just as another twist of coincidence, the coach of the Northern Knights coached Oakleigh to its premiership in 2012, Justin Wenke. So there's a few connections here and there.
Yep. Players
that you're looking forward to seeing, Rick?
Well, I know we're not going to see their best player this year in Higgins. He's out with a shoulder, so that'll be a big loss for Oakleigh. But one player I'd like to keep an eye on, I thought he played great in the game we had a couple of weeks back, Jack Roughsedge. Really sort of kicking on his season. He might be one to watch during the finals. A guy that I've sort of given votes to the last couple of times, Lockie Bajaya, is in the team as well, and I'm impressed by the drive he gives them into the 50, forward 50. Gets a lot of balls in there for them. Also, Charlie Whitehead's a real live wire down on the forward line, and we'll just see if he can play that pressure finals footy that's needed. And the other one who's developing nicely down in the back line is Isaac Keenor. Really a good mover, just developing as a player and getting better every time we see him. So be interesting to see how he plays under finals pressure. For the Northern Knights, well, we've seen a bit of them over the years, and Patrick Nace is probably the big name there that's people are looking out for. Father-son will go to Richmond, and real class player on that forward line. Be interesting to see whether they move him up further, on the ball or around the wing area today. Give him a taste of it. Jack Petrocelli, my favourite. Let's see if he really brings to the footy that we know he can play in this final series. 184, fastest player in the comp, and leaps and jumps and just does all the mercurial things.
He does.
Epping. Nick Caulfield, the captain, he's just a marshal down there. Cross half back, always plays a good game too. So, and Ethan Penrith around that forward line, who we know is a backman, but they have tested him around the forward line of late. So he could even be a swing player during this game at certain stages. So
real buzz player.
Yeah, he is. So for his development, they've probably put him up forward to give him a, just that other notch to his belt.
Two others that I'm looking forward from the Knights, Rick, is Alex Federico, who we interviewed earlier in the year. Really come into his own, finished the season off perfectly, Alex Federico.
Yep.
And a young guy down the bottom who we saw a snippet of as a 16-year-old, Patrick Della Rocca.
Okay.
Someone that caught my eye last year, still a bottom ager this year. We're going to take a break. Come back on the other side of this. We're kicking off a big weekend, 4 finals. We will be there for every ball, every bounce. We'll be back on the other side of this.
Essendon captain Goddard settles, and he's done it. He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun Josh Dunkley is looking good in his debut match. NG, the power behind Gippsland Power. For the past 19 seasons, NG, Loy Yang B and Hazelwood has been kicking goals with Gippsland Power as major sponsor. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! If you love your under-18s footy and want to know more about the future stars of the AFL, then check out AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central is the only AFL draft-focused website providing draft profiles, power rankings, video highlights, exclusive interviews and all the stats you need on the up-and-coming stars of the TAC Cup. To check them out, visit afldraftcentral.com.au. Like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter at AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central, proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio. Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. For all your workwear, head down to Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. High-vis long and short-sleeve work shirts, just $5. Expect to pay triple elsewhere. High-vis wind cheaters in fluoro, orange or yellow, just $8. Sizes all the way up to 5XL. If you mention this ad, they'll throw in a 3-pack of work socks free. Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. Proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM Media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup Radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes Store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
TAC Cup Radio has its own Facebook page. You can find it by searching for TAC Cup Radio. Like the page and be kept up to date with everything that's happening in this year's TAC Cup season. Have your say on any topic, including the best on ground and the players making their mark on the competition. You can also find the Twitter handles for our commentary team so you can interact during the match. They all love talking about the next thing in TAC Cup footy and you can let them know your opinion. TAC Cup Radio on Facebook. Like it now. FootyProfit.com is your go-to for everything AFL online, including some of the best under-18s coverage across Australia. The site has phantom drafts, player scout reports, predictions and expert analysis on your favourite players. Footy Profit is committed to covering the AFL draft and as a key sponsor of TAC Cup Radio provides first-class analysis and opinion. Readers are flooding to FootyProfit.com to stay up to date with everything they need to know about the TAC Cup and the AFL draft. It's time you found out what all the fuss is about. Visit footyprofit.com. Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com. On taccup.com.au and the Red Time Sport iPhone app, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Victoria Park. And the Chargers and the Knights are just breaking up their huddles inside 50 and going to make position. Chargers today are in their traditional strip, the blue and red stripes with the white horse head charger emblem on the stomach. And the Northern Knights are in the white with the black band and the blue around the middle and the white nicks.
Good contrast, Crooksy, for us.
Love a good contrast. Love a good contrast.
Just a couple of the players you highlighted before. Jack Ruffset received the TAC Cup Personal Growth Award for the Oakleigh Chargers last Sunday night. Which
is the old Coaches Award, Rick.
Okay.
And a couple of players in the Team of the Year for the Northern Knights. Patrick Naish on the wing, and halfback was Caulfield, who was also named vice-captain. Higgins, the only representative from the Oakleigh Chargers.
Ball in the air. Siren sounds. Elimination final one. Take it away, Rick.
Up they go, and Longbottom with the tap out for Oakleigh gets it back towards the middle of the ground. We've got 15 players around this, and they'll ball it up 3 metres in advance of the Oakleigh territory Quick ball up. Long bottom, using his body, gets it to ground. Underneath it, Rough's Edge trying to work it out. He got hit a bit high, but play on's the call. Bit of a rolling scrum, and we'll have a ball up.
The Chargers won the toss and will be kicking to the Yarra Falls.
There's a bit of a breeze advantage to that as well.
Knights kicking to the Hoddle Street.
Tapped down by Harmon. Knights trying to break clear. Just working it towards the commentary side here. A little throw out to Collinson. He gets it wide to Day. Well, that's Ayrton Delaney. Gets it down to half forward. Oh, pushed out there. Well done, Hewitt. Gets on the left and bangs it down towards Wooler. Wooler picks it up. One movement. Dishes off the handball, but couldn't get it in time to Whitehead. And out of bounds it went in that forward pocket. And that's the old outer area for a lot of the fans that used to come here back in the 70s.
Used to be the scoreboard in that
scoreboard,
corner.
Yep, in that corner. Ball up, Wooler to the front, flicks it over to a dangerous spot. There goes Charlie Thompson, paddling it towards Rough's Edge, brings it back beautifully around the corner, thank you. And that's a great goal. And that is an AFL Graph Central goal of the day contender, that is for sure. And that goes to Jack Rough's Edge. Never an easy name to say.
One too many S's in there, I think.
And that takes the score on to 1 goal straight, 6 the Chargers. Knights yet to score. And into this first quarter.
For about a minute.
About a minute.
All right, back in the middle. Up she goes. Tap out, nothing decisive. Hot potato. Naish trying to get it out. Again, dives on top of it. Could have been a free kick, too high. And Oakleigh get the resultant free kick. And this will be taken by, taken by Longbottom. He's into it early. He gets it across to Matty Day. Day goes wide to the city side of the ground. Long, it's a bit of a flat punt. Oh, is it a downfield?
Yep.
Downfield free kick to Oakleigh. This is a bit of a gift. Don't want to be giving away too many of these.
Now, boys, they've gone with a short ruckman, Longbottom and 191, and we know Oakleigh have always had the talls in Ned Reeves, who hurt his shoulder the other week.
He did when we were calling.
Against Bendigo.
So they've gone small in the ruck, and they're not used to having that because they've always had that tall, haven't they?
Hewitt comes in, kicks straight through the middle. They've got 2 on the board very, very quickly, the Oakleigh Chargers. And the NG scoreboard, 2 goals straight, 12. The Knights yet to score, and we're 2.5 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
They already looking quite dangerous, Oakleigh. Just like they were against Bendigo when we called them a couple of weeks ago. They were intense from the word go. Pressure's there from the Knights. I just don't think they're laying the tackles appropriately, and there's a little bit of niggle there as well.
Back in the middle, Cofield gets it down towards half forward. Out in front, oh, good mark, backing back that time. The defender there, that was Matty King. King, right on the defensive 50 for Oakleigh. He'll kick towards centre wing underneath us here. In front, gutsy attempt that time, Dreyer. Brings it to ground. They've got support here, Oakleigh. A bit of a loose tackle there. And this free kick will go to Dylan Williams. The Chargers at half-back. He's on that left. Nice long kick with the breeze down towards half-forward. Thumped away. Thompson flicks over the back. Caulfield intercepts for the Knights. They can't break away. Oakleigh with numbers, just holding up the Knights there. Collinson with hands. Eventually, Caulfield cops one. Goes to ground. And we've got a pack of players. Stacks on the middle. And a little bit of niggle, as you said, Matt.
Silly.
And we could have a free kick here.
Yep.
Don't think that was necessary. And Whitehead will be the recipient. He goes back a long way. And he's found King. Half-back. Not sure if that was an attacking move because he's had to swing back and change his mind. And he's kicked it out in the full. I don't mind the switch, but there didn't seem to be any benefit whatsoever in that one. And the free kick will go the Knights' way. And the player there, Harrison Grace.
Binion, Rick. Sam
Binion. Grace is in my corner of my eye. Binion goes long to half forward. Up they go and over the back. Beautiful mark that time to Williams, already involved in the early part of this game, Dylan Williams. And he'll go onto that left and kick nice and long. He's a nice kick. Gets it down towards half forward. They bring it to ground. No clear possession there. Pack of players forming around this one. And we'll have a ball up at half forward for the Oakleigh Chargers.
Right in front of us here. Trying to think what the name of this stand was, Rick. It was the rush stand or the rider stand. It's one I never wanted to enter into, I know, as a child. My parents told me, don't go over this side of the ground, whatever you do. Harmon, long bottom. Harmon gets the tap. Federico, Lentini, Dreyer. That was a flick pass going back to the old days. Oh. Keenor, good defence. Knights trying to, first time they're getting a decent foray forward. Jamison Shea has caused a stoppage. The ball will be thrown up. We're about 70 metres out from the Knights goal. They're kicking to the train station or Hoddle Street end of the ground. Up they go. Naish, long bottom, caught high. Knights just got to redirect their aggression at the footy here. A little undisciplined early doors. Huey Longbottom. Lovely long kick again. Drops a bit short. Could have got it in the back. Federico gets slung as he kicked. Day, his kick is smothered. Hot footy. Comes out the back. Naish gets tackled. Pings one out. Petrocelli in there. That ball is going to find the boundary line. And the ball will be thrown in. We are 6 minutes into this first quarter. The Chargers 12. Knights yet to score. Uzelak taking the ruck against Longbottom for Oakleigh. Good throw in. Uzelak gets the double fisted to Petrocelli. Federico gets the crumb. Kicks along the boundary. Bouncing over the boundary line, out of bounds. Half forward flank in front of that Social Club. Ooh, that Social Club.
Just get the feeling that maybe it's nerves impacting the Knights' decision-making at the moment, because they're being very sloppy both with the ball in hand and just around the footy with their aggression.
Uzelak and Longbottom again. Uzelak gets the tap towards the boundary line and they can't keep it in. And the ball will be thrown in again.
And I reckon the pressure being shown from Oakleigh's part of that as well. Their tackling pressure in the first 6 minutes has been extraordinary.
In it goes. Uzelak, like he's working the ruck so far. Naish can't take it. Troiani caught, slung. Dangerous tackle. Danger. Oh, no, you got to go over your mark. Come on, back you go. None of that rubbish, Christian. Christian Fascioni. Troiani, Jordan Troiani. Oh, he's overcooked it and he's caught, holding the ball. Play on, play on, play on. Good work by the Knights. This is Della Rocca. He plays around Keenor. He has a look towards goal. It comes back. It comes back. Oh, he's marked it.
He dropped it, I think.
Marked it on the line. That had a beautiful, that had a Peter Dacos bend to it, that kick.
Great kick.
Did he take that mark?
Yep.
He's taken the mark right on the line.
Not so sure.
And Ethan Penrith, well, it doesn't matter what you think, Rick. The umpire paid it, and it is through for the first goal for the Northern Knights. Their first foray forward. And it ends up in a goal to Ethan Penrith. They move on to 1 goal straight 6. The Oakleigh Chargers 2 goals straight 12. And we're 8 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
Had to work hard for that goal though.
Really good movement by Della Rocca there. He was able to get around his man. He made the decision to play on a bit early, but he was still able to get around his man and force that real scary ball in the goal square, and Penrith did the rest. Tapped down by Harmon, gets it to ground. Out towards Caulfield. He runs around as if no one was around. Does a beautiful handball to Naish. Naish drives it towards full forward. We've got a contest up ahead. Ball comes to ground. Knights with numbers. Should be able to get this out through Grace. Harrison Grace working it clear. Got pushed in the back almost. And they don't seem to be paying that where they land in their back, do they?
No, I've seen 2 so far. But,
ball up straight away, 45 out from the North's goal. Harmon over the top, but thought he was shepherded in that. Not much he could do there, the big fella, but Stanford plays on. Gets it across, they'll work it wide, very wide, out towards Jack Roughsedge. He's taken the mark at half-back for the Oakleigh Chargers. He'll go wide to centre wing. Gone very wide over the back of Wooler. and eventually they're all tied up, and it should be a ball in. Yep, the umpire's happy with that. Got a nice little crowd over there in the outer, standing up, watching the footy.
Big job for Sam Binion today on Toby Wooler.
And the Rucks are finding a real height advantage for the Knights. This time we've got Howe moving it backwards. Can't break away. Oakleigh with numbers.
Oh!
Day gets caught.
That was Wiggins who laid that tackle, Rick.
Chief Wiggins.
Chief Wiggins. That was a cracking tackle.
They'll throw it in. Harmon up against Stanford. Giving away a lot in height here. It favours Stanford at the front. Ball spills out the back. And that was Dreyer getting it down towards half forward or centre of the ground. Back into the square it goes. Keenall with the handoff. They can't break away just yet. Now they free it up a little bit through the Oakleigh defenders. And they get it down towards half forward.
Good defence.
Nice intercept mark there at half back to Wilson. He'll go inside. Kick smothered. Dreyer and chip it wide and just hold it up. And a little bit of tempo footy might be what's required right now, just to settle things down for the Knights. And Andrews goes forward. He's found Shea. Jamison Shea gets it out wide. He's got Baker on his own. Baker will give it off to Andrews. He likes to run with it. He goes towards half forward. 2 against 1. If they can bring it to ground, they do.
Good work.
And a nice spoil brought Mackenzie into the game. He goes up forward. A nice pressure mark there. Gillard out in front, under pressure. Got the arms chopped and all. And still took the mark. 50 out. It's going to test him into this breeze. This should be one for the top of the goal square, I'd imagine.
As soon as that kick was taken at half back, Mackenzie and Naish split from the middle, opened up that opportunity. They had 3 players free on the wing.
So Gillard comes in and he kicks to the square. That's the spot to go to. Harmon at the back. They bring it to ground and through for behind. And we'll just straighten up this scoreboard because Oakleigh are 2 goals straight, 12, and the Northern Knights are 1 goal, 1, 7. That is on the NG scoreboard. And we are 11 minutes into this first quarter on the Technica time clock. They've driven it down to half forward and taken away that time for Oakleigh through Hewitt. He gets all tied up and the umpire will come in and ball it up.
In the last few minutes, the Northern Knights have just sorted out their aggression a little bit, not quite so undisciplined.
They've steadied and they look a little more composed with the ball in their hands rather than those rushed kicks they were doing early stages.
Ball thrown up close to the boundary line, comes out the back. Oakleigh again, good tackle by Petruccelli. Now there's another turnover. They're forcing a few turnovers. Looking for the Prime Minister in Gillard and he's marked just inside 50. He's got Penrith on his own. Just overcooks it a little bit. Penrith gets it. He puts on the afterburners and now he's away. He lowers the eyes. Oh, look for Nate. Couldn't quite get there. They're under the pump. Oh, caught too high. Umpire missed that one and the ball will be thrown up. We're inside 50 for the Knights.
Blind Freddie could have saw that one, Crooksy.
Yeah, Jack Hill, the blind miner. See, we're taking a step back in time today. Harmon taps it down into a hot spot. Caught with a tackle, dispossessed. They're under the pump, this Oakleigh defence. Dreyer gets the footy, can't quite find the handle. Good contest in the middle of Victoria Park again. I'm impressed with the tackling of the Knights. They're making Oakleigh earn every footy. This ball will be thrown up. We're inside 50. Inside the 50-metre square. Harmon taps it out. They're off and running. Oakleigh kicked to 50 over the back. Worked his man underneath the ball. Needs a bit of help. Oh, not sure about that. And it was an incorrect disposal against Mark Baker. And the free kick will be taken by Longbottom. Huey Longbottom. Very severe angle. Camera will get a good shot of this one. But we'll be right behind it. He'd be on a 70-degree angle. He's going to kick from 35 metres out to the Yarra Falls end. This for his first and Oakleigh's third. He comes in. Not bad off the boot. Lovely kick off the boot. That's their third. The Oakleigh Chargers, 3 goals straight, 18 on the NG scoreboard. The Northern Knights are 1-1-7, and we are 14 and a half minutes in on the Technica time clock.
That's going to be the killer for the Knights. When they do make a lapse or an error, Oakleigh's going to burn them. They had about 3 players in that forward pocket there, I think 2 for the Knights. So just that pressure inside attacking 50, that's what's going to kill them.
Into the middle we go, and this time Stanford up against Oakleigh, who gets the palm down. Not quite able to break free. Oakleigh get numbers around it. Again, a couple of fumbles in there. Saw the ball flicked out the back. Cofield with the tap out. Gets down towards half forward. Well, this boy's having a good start. Williams gets caught, but gets the kick out. Oh, lucky ball out to Collinson. Oakleigh charging forward, down towards half forward. Little push out was well done. But eventually back in the hands of Charlie Thompson. Gets it out to Ruff's edge. They work it wide through Collinson. And an intercept mark there to Andrews on the defensive side for the Northern Knights. He's in the back pocket. And he'll chip it inboard, and he's got his man there in Wilson. Ollie Wilson at half-back, goes to centre half-back, puts it out in front, dangerous ball.
Oh.
Caulfield didn't let him down, gives it over the back. That was a handball through Lentini. He has to get it back. He's under a lot of pressure here from 2 Oakleigh Chargers tacklers, and the umpire will let him go and ball it up. We're just inside the centre square.
It was a beautiful spin out by Caulfield, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
That was just class.
He's shown that a couple of times so far. The class player he is. And the umpire will come in and ball it up.
There's a reason why he was named vice-captain of the team of the year.
Yep, just does the right things. Tap down. Punched away. Oh, this is a dangerous one inside 50 for the Chargers, but Knights have the answers so far. Andrews gets it, runs into trouble. They're getting numbers back. That ball fell free, and they'll hold things up. With 35 out, Oakleigh attacking. It is a slight wind advantage to the Oakleigh Chargers down here, so Knights will try to restrict them where possible. And that was a lovely tap out the back into open space. Bit of a high one. Play on's a call.
Going to ping him.
And he's being pinged. That tackle was on Wiggins.
Charlie Thompson.
And Thompson, who's been one of our favourites here at TAC Cup Radio this year, played some great footy. He will kick for goal. 35 out on an angle. Doesn't look a difficult one, does it, from that pocket? So the 7 number for Charlie Thompson comes in. Got the fluoro boots, kicking from the city side of the ground. And he'll come in, 35 out, and kicks through the ball, and it's, stayed true, lovely kick off the boot, and that's Charlie's first, and that's the 4th goal to the Oakleigh Chargers, 4 goals straight, 24, and the Northern Knights 1-1-7, that is on the NG scoreboard, and we're 17 minutes into this first quarter, final action, and that is on the Technica time clock.
One thing I've noticed, in a congested situation, the Chargers are just able to spread out a little bit more, which stretches the Knights. They seem to be just hovering around the ball a little too much. The Chargers able to work it cleanly away.
We're back in the middle. Uzelak and Longbottom. Longbottom gets the big leap and gets away. Loose ball, Keenor, dispossessed by Naish. Quick hands. Ruff's edge, gets it across to Sam Hart. Hart. Kicks to centre wing, the big men fly. Wooler gets paid the mark. Wooler plays on. Kicks to no one in particular. Not sure if that's deliberate.
I'm not sure if that was the right decision either then, to try and play on.
Some big mice running around the grandstand.
There
Crooksy.
is. There'd be rats around here, Rick. I'll get you to sort the children out in a minute, Rick. Ball thrown in. Half forward flank for the Oakleigh Chargers. Comes over the back.
Yeah, throw.
Incorrect disposal by Dreyer, and Sam Hart will take Longbottom back to Hart. Now got to come over the mark. Now Huey Longbottom. He's got one there. Goes in short, tries to place it. And did he place it well, Troiani? If that's 50, that's just a waste.
Pushed him over.
That's just a waste.
Oh, they could. No.
Turn it back over? No. No, the goals are hard to come by, and you can't afford to give them up like that.
And that's that discipline that you talked about earlier, Crooksy. There's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Controlled aggression's got needed.
And Troiani puts through his first. That's their fifth. They shoot out to a comfortable lead at the moment. 5 goals straight, 30 to the Northern Knights, 1-1-7. And we approach 20 minutes into the first quarter on the Technica time clock.
You've got to watch this doesn't blow out in this first quarter of the Knights, because they've been competing pretty hard, and they just have to stay in touch.
I was just about to ask, is the scoreboard a reflection of the actual game?
No.
Not so sure. They've kicked accurately, that's the key with Oakleigh at the moment, and they're using the ball well through Thompson this time. Down towards centre half forward. Oh, a bit of a falcon there. Wooler turns out of trouble, gives off the handball. They'll need to use this well through Naish, the Northern Knights. He doesn't use it that well, but the outcome was effective. And that ball will be chipped wide out in the direction of Federico. Or it might be even Lentini there. Oh. He mucks it up, and Oakleigh are able to intercept through Wooler. And Wooler goes long to the boundary, and Stanford, that was a magnificent pass because he didn't have much room to run in, and he hit him up perfectly. So we'll see if this accurate kicking continues. Stanford from 35 out. Been a good versatile player for the Oakleigh Chargers this year. Play a number of roles, and he kicks hard at it and just offline and through for a behind. So that's their first behind for the day. They move on to 5-1-31 to the Northern Knights 1-1-7, and they'll play on to a dangerous spot, and that is Lentini again.
Lentini finds Dreyer, Maxi Dreyer, in the harder defensive 50. He decides to go wide to Mitch Andrews. He's got one loose up here. And the mark is taken by Kai Yoji. Half-back flank for the Knights on the grandstand or northern side of the ground. Caught in 2 minds. So he kicks a dirty big up and under. The big men fly. 2 bites of the cherry for Matty Harmon. Too big. And he takes the mark. It's a slow build-up. Harmon thumps the ball to centre half forward again. Big pack mark required. Comes off hands. Penrith can't take it. Caught underneath. Umpire rallies around, comes in, and will ball it up. Knights could dearly do with a goal before quarter time. Up she goes. Comes out the back. Naish can't lay a hand on it. Tackled by Dreyer. And it is a throw in. Again, just so you can see that little bit of finals niggle. Ball to be thrown in. Half forward flank. Boundary umpire sets. Sharon into the air. Harmon gets front spot. Gets it down. Federico kicks it on the outside of his boot, looking for Della Rocca, can't find him, and again it is taken over the line by Riley Jones.
Definitely an Italian connection in this Knights lineup, isn't there?
Isn't there ever? Ball to be thrown in. We're 40 metres around from the Knights goal. They're working it around. Harmon taps it into a bit of space. Della Rocca gets it in one arm, spits it out with the other. Gillard, now it's cleared by Collinson, goes to centre wing, the race is on, Binion and Wooler, boundary line wins. Well, again, I think we're still going with 25-minute quarters here, so about a minute and a half to score. In it goes, Stanford front position, taps it down. Lentini roves it. Just a mongrel punt up forward. And free kick. to Oakleigh, and that will be taken by Matty King. King on half-back. Goes in short, hits up a target in Rowell. Rowell decides to square it up, finds Richards. Richards plays on, sharp left foot into the middle of the ground. Nice take there by Ruff's Edge. Lays it off back to Richards. He takes one bounce, does Richards. He kicks long. He's looking for the skipper in Wooler.
Downfield free kick.
Well, would have took it anyway, I think.
Richards got dumped after he got rid of it.
Undisciplined footy by the Northern Knights, and it results in another shot on goal for the Oakleigh Chargers. Toby yet to have a shot at goal. The skipper again, we've got a good angle on this one. You see Justin Winky going down onto the boundary as Wooler. Be a 55-degree angle, kicking to the Yarra Falls end. He's normally a very, very good kick for goal. Comes in, kicks, and put the commentator's curse on him. Through for a behind. 5-2-32 NG scoreboard, 1-1-7 the Northern Knights, and we're getting close to 25 minutes in this first quarter on the Technica time clock.
Wiggins at half back, he goes wide, and that's just going to hit the line, and no deliberate there, but you'd expect the siren to go any minute or any second. Umpire to ball it in. We're at 55 out. I think the only team that could score would be Oakleigh. And they bring it to ground. Flick out the back to Stanford, and he goes towards Wooler, gets pushed out of it. And, yep, another free kick to Oakleigh. They had him beat there too. Probably didn't require that push. And it gives them a live chance to go in with a big lead at quarter time.
It's really
not sure about your information on the clock, Crooksy.
Well, I thought they were playing the 25-minute quarters, but I might be wrong.
Time on.
Yeah, they've got the time on.
So Wooler to kick from 35 out. Probably 40 when he kicks it. On an angle, comes in. Nice approach. This time he kicks a little left. Better connection, but didn't allow enough. Through for another behind, and that score moves on to 6-3-33 to 1-1-7. Oakleigh Chargers leading. Big up and under kick. This is favouring the Chargers through Wooler, and he liked every bit of that kick. And takes the mark on 50. There's the siren, and he's got a breeze behind him, so if he can aim for that right post or just right of it, he's a good chance here to get all the way, Toby Wooler. Would have learnt from his last two shots at goal that it's going a little left. And he'll kick for goal 53 metres out with a little bit of a breeze. Toby Wooler comes in for Oakleigh. Right on quarter time, comes in. Nice approach and kicks. An
a Barry.
Absolute mongrel.
An absolute Barry Crocker, that one.
And no score. 5-3 plays 1-1 here at Victoria Park.
The goal kickers for the Northern Knights, they've just got the solitary goal kicker in Ethan Penrith. And for the Oakleigh Chargers, 5 goal kickers. Wonder Jack Ruffsedge, Charlie Thompson, Jordan Troiani, Hugh Longbottom and Jack Hewitt. Quarter time here. It is the Chargers by 26 points. We'll take a break, be back on the other side of this. You are listening and watching TAC Cup Radio live through the TAC Cup website.
Essendon captain Goddard settles, and he's done it. He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun Josh Dunkley is looking good in his debut match. NG, the power behind Gippsland Power. For the past 19 seasons, NG, Loy Yang B and Hazelwood has been kicking goals with Gippsland Power as major sponsor. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! If you love your under-18s footy and want to know more about the future stars of the AFL, then check out AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central is the only AFL draft-focused website providing draft profiles, power rankings, video highlights, exclusive interviews and all the stats you need on the up-and-coming stars of the TAC Cup. To check them out, visit afldraftcentral.com.au, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter at AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central, proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio. Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. For all your workwear, head down to Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. High-vis long and short-sleeve work shirts, just $5. Expect to pay triple elsewhere. High-vis wind cheaters in fluoro, orange or yellow, just $8. Sizes all the way up to 5XL. If you mention this ad, they'll throw in a 3-pack of work socks free. Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. Proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup Radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes Store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
TAC Cup Radio has its own Facebook page. You can find it by searching for TAC Cup Radio. Like the page and be kept up to date with everything that's happening in this year's TAC Cup season. Have your say on any topic, including the best on ground and the players making their mark on the competition. You can also find the Twitter handles for our commentary team so you can interact during the match. They all love talking about the next thing in TAC Cup footy and you can let them know your opinion. TAC Cup Radio on Facebook. Like it now. FootyProfit.com is your go-to for everything AFL online, including some of the best under-18s coverage across Australia. The site has phantom drafts, player scout reports, predictions and expert analysis on your favourite players. Footy Profit is committed to covering the AFL draft and as a key sponsor of TAC Cup Radio provides first-class analysis and opinion. Readers are flooding to FootyProfit.com to stay up to date with everything they need to know about the TAC Cup and the AFL draft. It's time you found out what all the fuss is about. Visit footyprofit.com. Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com. On taccup.com.au and the Red Time Sport iPhone app, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Victoria Park, it is quarter time in Elimination Final 1. The Chargers 33, the Knights are 7, and out on the ground is Matto Cox, and he's got Rye Geeshan with him.
Yeah, thanks, Crooksy. Rye Geeshan with me. Rye, a little undisciplined start to the game. Do you think nerves played a role of the occasion?
Yeah, look, we were really disappointed with some of the undisciplined acts. I think you want aggression in a final, but you need it to be controlled aggression. So yeah, that's probably the main message from Justin. Just control your emotions a little bit. We want them playing on the edge, but we certainly some of those acts were pretty poor and cost us on the scoreboard.
And it looked like it was the errors that really cost you. Oakleigh were able to take full effect of it, whereas you going the other way just looked a little bit unstructured. Is that another thing you're going to try and rectify this quarter?
Yeah, the pressure around the ball's been really hot. I thought that we held our structures pretty well, but there is a bit of a breeze out here, so we just need to spread the ground a little bit more and get it out the open side. We think that far wing from the grandstand is definitely the attacking side, so if we can set our backs up a little bit more, get the ball out that side and use the ball well this quarter, we think we can chip into this margin. So.
Just quickly, is there any player that you're putting a little more responsibility on in this term to step up?
Oh, they're a pretty good side. Charlie Thompson's obviously one that we know is pretty dangerous. So with Higgins going out, he's probably their prime mover, and Wool is a very good player in the competition. So you can't stop them all. So we'll just stick to our plan a little bit and back our players. Hopefully we can get back in the game a little bit this quarter with a bit of a breeze, and we can be a little bit more disciplined and get the ball going our way a little bit more.
No worries. Appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, Rob.
No worries, guys. Have a good call. Thank you.
Good work, Maddo, and thanks to Roy Geeshan and the Northern Knights, always very accommodating to the TAC Cup radio team. What is the breeze like out there, Maddo?
Yeah, it is. It's just died down as I'm walking off the ground, but it is favouring that broadcast pocket. So we saw a few of the kicks from Toby Wooler at the end of that term fade to the left there as it just picks up again. So there is a breeze blowing into that broadcast pocket down the Yarra Falls end of the ground.
All right, we'll see what they can do. Good little crowd here, Rick.
Fantastic crowd at both huddles. Just had hundreds of people around it. And the grandstand, which was empty earlier over here where we're calling on centre wing, has really grown in the crowd. And people seem to be finding a spot all the way around the ground here at Collingwood today.
They are. Because it doesn't have, used to have the... No, it wasn't. Were there seats over the other side or not? I can't think. Used to be like you can still see the structure there on the right hand, in that forward pocket.
Yeah, you would have had seating of some sort.
There was protection, like standing room protection.
Yeah. More of a terrace nowadays, isn't it, here at Collingwood? But open park living.
Peter Williams has got his breakfast. He's happy. All right, second quarter action here. Take it away, Rick.
Ball up in the middle. Harmon with the handoff. Beautiful to Federico. He gets it down further afield, but to no one really. And it works its way towards boundary side. It'll beat all comers. Eventually tapped over the line, and we'll have a ball in. 20 metres out from the Northern Knights goal. And they would like a goal quickly in this quarter. Just going with a slight breeze advantage here, the Northern Knights. Tapped down the front by Longbottom. They can't break away with this one, Oakleigh. And we'll have a ball up. 25 around from Northern Knights goal. Quick ball up. Harmon with the tap towards goal. They can't break away. Good pressure by the forwards. And eventually out of bounds in the same position. Just got to open it up a bit here, the Knights.
Plenty of space behind the huddle
there's
for
a
someone
lot,
to run into.
that, with the advantage of the ruck size, he should be flicking it there somewhere. He goes pretty much straight down. Keenor gets tackled. We'll have a ball up. And we're 35 out from goal. Haven't moved far. And that ball up, Harmon again with the height advantage, taps it down. They get all tied up again. Just a few too many ball ups for my liking. Tapped down by Harmon again. Flicked out to dangerous territory, but Keenor doesn't let his teammate down. Takes a strong contested mark at centre half back. Looking to work it wide to Collinson. Hits him up nicely and takes the market. Half back there, right on the boundary line. He goes inboard, dangerous. Rough's Edge gets a hand on it. Federico's there to mop up. He gives it all. Nash, he gets it down towards goal. It was a bit of a grubber. It almost bounced through, but through. Just should have took a couple more steps there, Nash, and rushed it on the boot. And through from behind, so 8 points, plays 33 here in the second quarter. 2 minutes in. They go outer side of the ground. Federico will give it back. Gets it across. Banana kick and goal. And out it goes, out in the full.
They've got it down the right end of the ground, the Knights. They just need to make sure that they can get some
Just
score on the board.
Open it up through that centre V area, don't they?
Matthew King to bring the ball back in for the Chargers. He'll have to come along the line, which he does. Goes in short looking for Keenor. Nicely placed kick. He's marked it on half back. Isaac. Darts the eyes. Kicks to centre wing, looking for the skipper. There's plenty of Knights there, and big Matty Harmon takes the mark. A few blokes looking for the cheap handball, but Harmon goes, bang, I'll kick it to the top of 50. And Naish trying to get the crumb. Tackles, he's over the top of it. He's over the top of it. Umpire looks and says, no, I'll ball it up. We're inside 50. Knights kicking to the Yarra Falls end. Chargers kicking to the Hoddle Street or Victoria Park Station end. Harmon and Longbottom. Harmon gets the tap. Day takes the roving. Kicks out wide. Whitehead. Good mark. Under severe pressure from Mitch Andrews. Whitehead. Bit indecisive. Now he just kicks to centre wing. Right in front of the broadcast. Rough's edge. Copped a fairly solid one in the back, and the Knights have got the free kick. And it'll be taken by Sam Binion, being held up a tad. Binion goes backwards to go forwards. Lentini.
You got the loose one.
Switches play. Wiggins. Yodji on half back. Now on the City side of the ground. Yodji goes wide. But Ed Richards intercept mark. Centre wing's going to send it back from whence it came. Goes in short. Stanford marks. Oh, comes in well with the spoil. And it finds the boundary line. Centre wing on the City or Johnson Street side of the ground.
They worked it well with the switch there, the Knights. Just that long kick was a bit adventurous, I thought, that last one. Up they go. Longbottom up against Harmon. Harmon to the front. They should be able to break through O'Neill. He goes towards 50. Up they go. Oh, great contested mark. Whitehead plays on straight away. Gets caught. He'll get pinged here for sure.
Yeah.
The idea was right, but not the execution. Probably a bit quick to make his mind up there. And they'll play on. Federico getting involved in the game here at centre half back now. For the Northern Knights, he'll work it out with a handball to a sweeper. And they kick along towards half forward, brought to ground. Should be able to flick it out. Penrith should go inboard. He's got a runner. Shea, he'll drive it under pressure down towards full forward. Thump to the front, and there's a free kick to Naish. Just pushed off balance as they went for it. Not sure they would have paid that in the old days.
No. But I think Justin Wenke would be happy with the first 5 minutes here.
Yeah, the commitment's there. They've just got to start getting that last kick in towards that final forward line area on song. If they can get that right. Naish coming in, you expect him to kick this, and he kicked a bit left but found the goals. Good goal there. Paddy Naish gets the Knights on the board. That's their first for the quarter, and now they'll move on to 2-2-14. And the Oakleigh Chargers 5-3-33. That is on the NG scoreboard, and we're 6.5 minutes into this second quarter on the Technica time clock.
And just at that quarter time huddle for the Northern Knights, there wasn't too much panic or urgency in the huddle. It was very composed, very measured, knew that if they were able to stick to their structures, it might turn around.
Harmon gets the tap down. Thompson over the top of it. Petrocelli goes in to try to reek the ball out on hands and knees. Good work, good footy. Good finals footy. The Chargers spit one out the front. Charlie Thompson taps it, runs onto it, gets onto the left boot. Kicks to the square, Longbottom. Can't take the mark. Yodji gets collared, driven into the dirt. And the umpire comes in.
That was a real miss, that. That was a certain mark there. Certain goal, really.
We're very close to the Chargers' goal. Up she goes. Tap down. Caulfield. Nice work. Gets around Hart. Lays off the handball to Yodji. Gets it over the top. Ends up with Harmon. The big fella, Rick. The big fella. Oh. They worry me. He gets it away. But man in front. Good work there by Aiton Delaney of Oakleigh. Takes the intercept mark. Aiton Delaney goes in short. Hits up a man, Luke Stacker, who goes out wide to Day. Day, the long kick up forward. Whitehead got a few to beat, and they're not going to get past big Matty Harmon. Lays off the handball to the skipper in Caulfield. He looks up. Usually a good decision maker, and he is this time. Mark taken by Jamison Shea. Shea goes long, top of the 50. They're in front, and they take another mark. Plays on straight away. Big kick at goal. Bouncing. Oh, hit the post. Joel Naylor. Knights move on to 2-3-15. The Oakleigh Chargers 5-3-33. 18 points the difference. Ed Richards to bring the ball back in.
Richards to play on from full back and goes to the outer side. Very wide. It allows the Knights in here and a juggling attempt.
Oh,
and that's a mark there.
No,
the umpire thought there was another fingertip or a fingernail on it. And he'll play a jump ball here. And tap to the front. Harmon having a big influence on this game. Uzlak's in there too. That'll be cleared by Oakleigh, but to a dangerous spot. Allows the Knights with numbers. And out of the back door, that was McKenzie gets it wide, but good numbers there, getting back there, Oakleigh. Back inside the centre square, working it towards centre wing now. McKenzie can't break away. That was Falciano got tied up. And the umpire will ball it up on the edge of the centre square, just forward of centre wing.
The second efforts this term by the Knights have really stepped up.
They're putting enough pressure on, just got to get that final kick in a bit better. Mitch Andrews lost the run of it. Pushed out, there was a little flick out the back to Charlie Thompson. This is dangerous, lovely hit up towards Whitehead. He does well. Oh, he really lost his man well there. The kick wasn't so good and goes out in the full. Something about Whitehead, isn't he? He's just exciting player.
Very clever. Knights kick into defensive 50. Andrews, they want to switch play. We heard Ry Gushin talk about this. They want to get down that other side of the ground. Federico, this time up the corridor. Lentini just holds it. Now he has to play on. Goes lateral. Hit up mark, half-back flank. And this is Binion. Binion kicks to centre wing, looking for a pack mark. At the front, McKenzie. They get it out. Della Rocca. Now they could get it into the open. Grace, or he gets tackled and slung. Now the ball's in dispute, and the umpire will have to ball this up. Half-forward flank. City side of the ground. Time clock, Matto?
Just approaching the 11-minute mark on the Technica time clock.
Ball thrown up. Whistle. Oakleigh get the resultant free kick for holding the man. Bit of Guernsey tugging. And that kick will be taken by Matt Day. Goes in short to Charlie Thompson. He kicks off one step. Now they're going to switch play. They go out wide. Ed Richards going to run onto this one. He runs. He takes it in one stride. He kicks for goal. It is an AFL Draft Central goal of the day contender. Ed Richards, beautifully measured kick into him, and he did not have to break stride. And that's a good goal there, first for the quarter. 6-3-39. The Oakleigh Chargers on the NG scoreboard. The Northern Knights at 2-3-15. And the Technica time clock is
12 minutes into the second term. That was brilliant, wasn't it, from Richards? Had a paddock to run into, took it cleanly, kept running and kicked a great goal, and one probably against momentum in this term.
Thumped down by Uzlak, gets it down towards the pack of players there, trying to paddle it out. Can't break away. We're still in the middle area of the ground. And the umpire will ball it up. Uzlak puts a hand up to say, I'm going for this one. Oakleigh shark it out of there and kick down towards Whitehead. Thumped away. They've got a runner there, but good tackling, Ollie Wilson. Yogi gets all tied up there. 45 out from goal, and Oakleigh attacking. We'll have a ball up. A lot of lime and yellow boots out there.
Is there ever?
Ball up, 45 out, Oakleigh attacking. Tapped out the back. Good little hand out. They've got a mover here. Over the back go the Knights, down towards centre half forward. They bring it to ground. Good defence by the Chargers. Still not out of the danger zone. Knights forwards tackling hard, just keeping it on the 50 line. And the umpire will come in and ball it up again. A lot of ball up so far.
They look dangerous when they go straight down the corridor, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They're using the breeze well. Who's like uncontested. Little kick forward by Howe. Spent out the back there to Aiton Delaney for the Chargers. Goes towards halfback. Good spoil there, Ollie Wilson. And the ball will be thrown in. Commentary side here at Victoria Park. Ball in. Northern Knights attacking at half forward. Petrocelli just lurking around. He's got to get involved a bit.
Good point, Rick.
Hasn't really been sighted. Tapped over the back by Longbottom. Awkward bounce. Charlie Thompson with the hand out. Out of bounds it goes. Yep, Petrocelli very quiet so far.
Centre wing, right in front of the grandstand, right in front of the combox. Umpire sets. In she goes. Harmon, could be a bit of jumper tugging there too. Caulfield works it well from the stoppage. Works his way inboard, but the kick is right off the side of the boot. Did all the hard work. Troiani just lets him know as well of the error of his ways. Oakleigh bring the ball in. Sam Hart. They're going to square it up this time. Get it across. This is Williams. They get it across Oakleigh on half-back. Aiton Delaney. It's a bit of an up and under. Ball gets punched backwards. Bit of a chance. Penrith. Smooth. Gets the ball. Hands it back. They kick back into the middle. Maxi Dreyer. Kicks long inside 50. They set. Oh, come over the top. Crunch. Aiton Delaney kicks into the centre of the ground. Andrews. Contest here. Collier Dawkins. Lays it off to Hart. Hart. Kicks inside 50, one-on-one contest. Comes over the back, kicked off the carpet. Now Whitehead, he's clever, Rick. Ball in dispute, tackle to the ground. I think the umpire will come in and ball this up. Half-forward flank. No use me talking to Rick. Rick's gone for a Tosca. Didn't see him out of the back of my head. Ball tossed up. Tap down. Oakleigh go backwards to bring it forwards. They kick to centre half forward. It's gone too far. Gillard. He goes out wide looking for Penrith. Oh, fantastic mark taken by Dylan Williams. They were in the van there, the Knights, if they could have got it. Now they go inboard. Huey Longbottom. He kicks long. Yodji. Good work, Kim Yodji. Strong mark. Lays it off to Petrocelli. He gets collared too high.
Free kick going the way of the Knights.
And Jack Petrocelli takes it. Needs to work himself into the game. Kicks to half back. Too far. And Matty King's got it. He'll send it back from whence it came. Goes inboard to Sam Hart. Hart inside the centre square. Oh, they like Ed Richards over this side of the ground. He wheels around on the left. He's got a man spotted up in Whitehead. The big fist go up. Double punch, Ruff's Hedge caught, dispossessed. Could have been collared. There's a kick and free kick. Again, Matty Warren's going to get this. And just got caught high as he got the kick away.
It's heartbreaking for the Knights because in the last 5 minutes they've had a couple of passages of play where they've kicked it straight down the middle, looked very attacking, and that last kick, as I think Rick or you might have said before, Crooksy, the last kick inside attacking 50 is really hurting them. Oakleigh go down the other end, and again, just that discipline issue that we spoke about in the first term, just really hurting them.
Luke Stacker. He is 30 metres out, directly in front in Victoria Park, kicks it right into the Sharon stand. That is Luke's first goal. And they have 7 goals on the board, 7 separate goal kickers. They move on to 7 goals, 3:45. The Northern Knights are 2-3-15 on the NG scoreboard. The Technica time clock
reads at 18 minutes into the second term, and I reckon it's been another arm wrestle of a quarter, but I think momentum was slightly in favour of the Knights prior to the last 2 minutes.
Harmon taps it down. They're going to clear it again. Stacker kicks inside 50. Wooler works his man and gives away a free kick to Sam Binion. Binion in the harder defensive 50. Goes to the outer side. Didn't sound too good off the boot. And Oakleigh going to come in. Just spills it at the end. Butters up. Now ball in dispute. And the umpire will come in and ball this up. Half forward flank. Johnson Street or City side of the ground. You can just see the lights of the MCG in the background. Harmon. Now Yodji. He gets driven into the dirt. No free kick. The ball will be thrown in.
It's a real weird time of the game, isn't it? If Oakleigh kick another couple, it's just about over. If Northern Knights can get one in the next 5 minutes or so, there's still a sniff.
Stacker kicks it to the hot spot. The big men fly. Lovely roving front and square. Equally great tackle by Oliver Wilson. And the ball will be tossed up. We're just outside, just 6 metres out from Oakleigh's goal, forward pocket. Tap down. Knights clear through Lentini. It's a dangerous kick, but it is fortuitous. Howe gets it across. Grace kick smothered. Now they're back. Stacker, he's hot at the moment. His kick's overcooked. Caulfield trying to come through. Thompson takes it. He's driven into the ground. Comes out to Naish. Naish handballs backwards to Lentini. Nowhere to go. Kicks out wide to Andrews. Good work, Mitch. Has to wheel around from Whitehead. Gets a handball away. Dreyer. Caulfield. Sharp kick. Looking for Naish. Goes further to Federico. Federico. Back of the square. Kicks to half forward, beats everybody. Isaac Keener all on his own at half back. Lays off a handball. Hart wheels around, gets it to Matty King. Matty King handballs over the top to Stacker. Stacker back to Hart, and he's dealt with. Play on, advantage, advantage, advantage. Hart goes long. He looks for the skipper. Over the back, works his man underneath it, comes around, he's tackled. Eventually gets rid of it. Whitehead snaps. It's just up in the air. Punch. Yodji. Quick handball. Wilson gets rid of it. Tackle. Hot footy. Whitehead. Little kick backwards. Not. Oh, paid the mark.
8 metres that went.
I think you're exaggerating, Rick.
You cannot pay that.
Dear, oh dear. Charlie Whitehead has... will take the kick. He's hard up on the boundary. This will hurt the Knights. Whitehead yet to score. Kicks, and it is a behind. 7 goals, 4:46 to 2:3:15 NG scoreboard. The Technica time clock showing.
Approaching the 22-minute mark.
So they'll play on straight away here, the Knights. And a mark and given back to Farcione. He'll go wide. Nicely directed. Caulfield playing a great game. Runs along the outer side and kicks long towards full forward. 2 against 1. Petruccelli finds the ball. Kicks towards goal. Just offline. Clever movement there by Petruccelli.
2 to beat.
Did very well there.
Great kick
to get a kick on goal, really.
Great kick from Caulfield again.
Richards brings the ball back in and finds Matty King. King holding him up a bit here, the Knighters. King kicks out wide. Knights in, yep, Lentini. Yodji gets interfered with. They kick to the top of the square. Comes over the back. Ball bouncing, and finds the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in. Shadows of half-time. Following this game, it is the Dandenong Rangers taking on... Dandenong Rangers. It is the Dandenong Stingrays taking on the Eastern Rangers. Is that a spoonerism? Might be. Ball thrown in. Harmon, front position. Comes down. Thompson. They clear it to Stacker. He's had a good second term, Stacker. Handball back to Stanford, who kicks it. No, just stays in. Mark taken by Aiton Delaney. Aiton Delaney goes in short. And mark taken by King. King, shorty again. This has found Xavier O'Neill. O'Neill. His kick is intercepted. They go along the Knights. They're looking for Petrocelli. Hey! Footyprofit.com.au, mark of the day, Jack Petrocelli. And that's the one they wanted.
We were asking him to do something.
24 minutes into the second quarter.
Petrocelli, 45-degree angle. He'll kick from 20 metres. We're right behind it.
To say the Knights need this is an understatement.
Is it ever? Petrocelli comes in. Kicks. Squeezes it in. Just rode it on the breeze. Gave the right-hand goalpost a very good look at it. And just got it inside. Petrocelli's first, the Northern Knights third. They move on to 3 goals for 22. They trail by 4 goals, 24 points. 7-4-46, the Oakleigh Chargers. And the Technica time clock ticking over to?
The 25-minute mark. Need one more going into half-time, the Knights.
You can lock that in for the footyprofit.com mark of the day, but there'll be other contenders. They try and break out of this through Thompson, Oakleigh, and a nice directive there out to Whitehead. He looks to play on. He likes to do that, likes to play on. He does, runs around, gets it down towards full forward. Wooler, great strength, just pushes his opponent out. Use of the body well. And Wooler, we've got a good angle on this. This should be just inside the left post, really.
Kicked 40 goals in 2017 so far.
Toby. And important kick, probably not one as important as this for a while.
He had the same at quarter time.
Yeah, again a kick on the siren.
He's giving away 10 kilograms, Sam Binion, and a bit of height too.
Wooler comes in, 35 out, 45-degree angle, right behind it. And he kicks beautifully through the middle. A little bit of left to right, and through for a goal right on half-time. Now look at this scoreboard. The Northern Knights trail 3-4-22, and we'll have a score on
Oakleigh Chargers 8-4-52.
Sorry.
So there is a 5-goal difference here at half-time. It's been a great half for the Oakleigh Chargers. The goal kickers for the Knights, 1 apiece to Patrick Naish, Jack Petrocelli and Ethan Penrith. And for the Oakleigh Chargers, 8 separate goal kickers, Jack Roughsedge, Charlie Thompson, Toby Wooler, Ed Richards, Jordan Troiani, Hugh Longbottom, Jack Hewitt and Luke Stacker. We will take a break. Hopefully we will have Kevin Sheehan, Shifter Sheehan, talking to us at halftime. You are watching through the TAC Cup website and listening through the Red Times Sport app.
Essendon captain Goddard settles, and he's done it. He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun Josh Dunkley is looking good in his debut match. NG, the power behind Gippsland Power. For the past 19 seasons, NG, Loy Yang B and Hazelwood has been kicking goals with Gippsland Power as major sponsor. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! If you love your under-18s footy and want to know more about the future stars of the AFL, then check out AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central is the only AFL draft-focused website providing draft profiles, power rankings, video highlights, exclusive interviews and all the stats you need on the up-and-coming stars of the TAC Cup. To check them out, visit afldraftcentral.com.au, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter at AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central, proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio. Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. For all your workwear, head down to Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. High-vis long and short-sleeve work shirts, just $5. Expect to pay triple elsewhere. High-vis wind cheaters in fluoro, orange or yellow, just $8. Sizes all the way up to 5XL. If you mention this ad, they'll throw in a 3-pack of work socks free. Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. Proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM Media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup Radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes Store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
TAC Cup Radio has its own Facebook page. You can find it by searching for TAC Cup Radio. Like the page and be kept up to date with everything that's happening in this year's TAC Cup season. Have your say on any topic, including the best on ground and the players making their mark on the competition. You can also find the Twitter handles for our commentary team so you can interact during the match. They all love talking about the next thing in TAC Cup footy and you can let them know your opinion. TAC Cup Radio on Facebook. Like it now. FootyProfit.com is your go-to for everything AFL online, including some of the best under-18s coverage across Australia. The site has phantom drafts, player scout reports, predictions and expert analysis on your favourite players. Footy Profit is committed to covering the AFL draft and as a key sponsor of TAC Cup Radio provides first-class analysis and opinion. Readers are flooding to FootyProfit.com to stay up to date with everything they need to know about the TAC Cup and the AFL draft. It's time you found out what all the fuss is about. Visit footyprofit.com. Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com. On taccup.com.au and the Red Time Sport iPhone app, this is TAC Cup Radio.
We're back here at Victoria Park. Half-time in Elimination Final 1. It is 8-4-52. The Oakleigh Chargers to the Northern Knights 3-2-22. And joining us for a chat at half-time is the godfather of the TAC Cup footy, Kevin Sheehan. How are you, Kev?
I'm terrific, guys. I thought you'd have the comforts of a lovely warm box at the back.
We are at
Looking
Collingwood.
for you, but you're out in the open air and really like most in the shade here at Vic Park at the minute.
We will be tomorrow up at Ballarat. We're on Mars. We're in Mars or on Mars tomorrow, and in Simmons Stadium next week. So we'll get all those comforts of home. Firstly, what did you make of the first half? Were you here for all of it?
Yeah, I was. I watched in the sunshine in the first quarter over the other side there, and yeah, it is quite a breeze that I hadn't noticed being over on that flank in that first quarter. Yep. It's quite a strong breeze, probably a three-goal breeze to the left of the way we're looking, and yeah, I suppose a little bit of undisciplined play from the Knights there a couple of times, cost them a couple of goals, and yeah, they've been in it. They've acquitted themselves reasonably well. It's a pretty well drilled Oakleigh side. They're slick. They always come together very well at this time of the year. having played probably close to 60 or 70 players they normally play over the course of the year, with many having private school commitments. But once the best are together, they do play very, very well together, and they're going to be, one of the 2 or 3 sides to beat, I would think.
And they've got a couple of key missing players there, with big Ned Reeves in the ruck, lost a lot of height there, and also Jack Higgins, who won the Morris Medal, of course, so they're covering them pretty well. Yeah,
Higgins, bit of a sore shoulder. I don't think it's too severe. I think he might be up for next week, but I think unless you're 100%, as a young boy with your whole footy career in front of you, you're best off to
just hold fire.
Just be careful on what you do. You don't have to put yourself through that. He's had a fantastic year, a fantastic couple of years, Jack Higgins, and a very worthy winner of the Morris last week.
He did, and made a wonderful speech, Kev, didn't he?
Quite different.
He made an impression on the crowd.
He did, yeah. Everyone's different, but I'll tell you what he can do is find that footy, and
he can.
He's just such a smart player. We talk about the footy IQ of young fellas. Can they read it? Can they use it smartly? He makes great, quick decisions. We know he's elite in a few areas too. He's an elite endurance runner. The best of our boys in the National Academy over the 3K. He's outstanding work rate and preparer. And he's, I think the body shape belies someone that's quite quick off the mark too, and quite agile.
He is.
Never judge the book by its cover. He's a strong, hard little fella, and he's got some real elite athletic attributes, as well as that football ball-winning ability.
We often get asked, who's he like? Which I always think is a bit of a dangerous game, because everyone thinks, oh, beauty, we're going to get another one of them.
Yeah.
But he plays a bit of a Toby Green type game, I reckon. That sort of really tough, hard forward. He hunts the footy really well, and he loves a goal, which is a great quality to have.
Yeah, but he's added that to his game this year, hasn't he? Playing the Toby Green type, medium forward type role, and he's quite strong in the air. He's surprising in the air. He's got bits and pieces of lots of players
that come
and I'll
together.
throw another one in, not to confuse everyone. He's got a little bit of Joel Selwood in him in the way he wins the ball.
And pushes his way up through the packs.
I wouldn't be shocked to see him play anywhere, really, once he reaches AFL standard and gets to that level where he's a regular player. I wouldn't be concerned if he played up the ground or even a backman role. You don't know where they're going to play him once they hit the system, do you?
There's just so many of them that we thought were elite forwards that end up across half-back, whether it's Hardwick or Burton, boys like that. Houston, another one. They're 3 Rising Star nominations that kicked multiple goals back, or 2 of them back in the TAC Cup. Kicked 8s and 10s. Houston kicked an 8. Hardwick, I reckon, a couple of 10s, and they end up great distributors of the ball from half-back. So I think providing you've got enough traits and enough qualities, like a Higgins has, let the clubs make their mind up down the track as to where they see them playing.
Where they go. You don't have to stereotype them or brand them straight away. If you stay the same, you're behind. So everything's changing and organic and evolving. How do you see the system? How do you see the pathway at the moment? Kev, I mean, you're the one that's seen it from day dot to now, and there's been changes. Where do you see it moving to, or where it's situated?
Well, I'll tell you what's pretty solid, very, very solid, is what you've got here with the TAC Cup. 65% of the boys this year going to our combine, our national combine, are from the TAC Cup. It's an amazing number. And so last year we had a swing towards Queensland and New South, but that's... that'll be up and down over the next 20 years, I think, before we get a regular 20% out of that part of the world. And they're crying out for those games at New South and Queensland they used to have against the TAC Cup sides. Remember, they had the Academy Series this year, and they basically divided their state in 2 to play their own Giants and Swans Academy, the Suns and the Lions Academy, rather than their state against the Victorian TAC Cup sides. And they felt they missed that a little bit, but it gave more kids an opportunity of playing some representative footy at least. But they did miss playing against the very best that are the Victorian 12 TAC Cup regions. So it's the consistent spot that the AFL would think we're going to have a great program here in Victoria ongoing, and we just have to tweak things in SA and WA, which we are doing, investing more in WA, into coaching and to the management of their Colts competition to mirror what happens here in Victoria, and I think SA would be next. Then we'll just keep working on what we're doing up in New South Wales and Queensland with that academy program.
When they announced the All-Australian team the other week, what stood out for me was Josh Kelly on one wing and Zach Merritt on the other, It's only 4 years ago they were playing for the Sandy Dragons.
It's quite amazing, isn't it, that these boys can come through so quickly now. And you look at whether it's Rising Star nominations, any measure you want to go to, the All-Australian team, as you point out, the Brownlow medal, any of those, whether it's Dusty Martin or whether Dangerfield, although we can't win it, it's right up there in the top three. They're all products of this system, and we've had the pleasure in amongst the hundreds of people that watch even the finals. It's not thousands upon thousands,
no.
But we're privileged, I think, to see some of these boys start to emerge as real outstanding prospects in the time that we watch them.
How do you rate this year? I know people are talking up next year's draft as being one out of the box, but you know, is this draft good enough, basically?
Yeah, it's probably two ways in which you look at it. You look at when you say how do you rate it for stars at the top.
Yep.
And then you say what's its depth like. Well, I think the depth is fantastic. I'm looking at the 85 boys that we'll have at our national combine, then the 120 after that at state level. There's some great kids at state level. So there's depth there. Normally about 70 get a go in the national draft. Yep. So there's going to be some good kids miss it that'll end up coming through as rookies. So I reckon there's great depth. Up front, I reckon there's about a dozen that I reckon are elite, and then 30 at the next bracket. You know, some kid could go at 13 or 38, in my view. I reckon they're very even through that area. But the very well-performed boys, and you'll see some of them today, I think are in that top dozen. And I think Caulfield's in that bracket as a boy we see out here. Nick Caulfield is a boy that is the modern day AFL player. He's 190 centimetre boy that can play almost anywhere. He's quick, he can play half-back as a tall midfielder, he can play as the tall on-baller as well and kick goals, push forward and kick goals. So they're looking for that, and he's obviously a very coachable, tractable type of young man.
Very clever, good decision maker.
Yeah, so all those things make him probably a lock as a guy that will play a fair bit of AFL footy.
And he's making the right decisions and moving out of trouble quite easily today. He's really playing a great game so far. It'd be good if the Knights can sort of back him up a bit and create a bit better play up towards their forward line. But Caulfield just seems to be spinning out of trouble and finding room.
Yeah, I love that acceleration he's got. That's where I suppose the eye sees it, doesn't it? You say, geez, that's AFL-like. You can see him sort of doing that at the next level up as soon as next year. So it'll be interesting to see how he finishes off this second half. You'd love to see guys under pressure too. Love to see when they're challenged, the team's challenged, can they lift their side? Are they going to just lift that little bit and show that aggression, that real football character that's needed when you're a few goals down? Most
final series usually throw up one or two players that sort of make their mark and push themselves up through the draft. Perhaps you're talking about those ones in that sort of 20 to 40 mark that might be drafted. Any names we could just sort of put the pencil in?
Well, I think Ed Richards is a beauty for mine. The red-headed left footer across half-back for Oakleigh. He's a boy that didn't play nationals, had a few little injuries early in the year, Kerry boy, but then has played some great games here for Oakleigh, but also at school level where he's dominated across half-back. His speed's very, very quick. His use of the ball's good. And he's got, that famous Richards blood. Lou Richards, of course, Ron Richards is his grandfather. Lou's his great uncle.
He'd feel well at home here.
Very much at home here.
The Panams and all that. He'd probably go past his forefather's house just around here, and it's somewhere between here and the town hall.
Clan. So we love our bloodlines, don't we? And he certainly looks a player for mine. And again, I love what he's done here today.
It was a lovely goal,
a beautiful
wasn't it?
goal. He was going to kick it the whole time. He just... but it's the speed I like and decision-making that he's got, and I love the way he has progressed in this back half of the year.
Is there a bit of a love of left-footers?
I think
am I imagining it, or is it just there seems to be so many of them?
Well, Hawthorn have got they want a premiership or two on the back of them, provide they're great kicks, and most tend to be, don't they? Great users of the ball. He's certainly in that bracket, and the way he distributes the ball, young Ed Richards.
Jack Petrocelli's been one we've had our eye on, and real excitement package. Been a bit quiet today, but we saw a glimpse of it with that great mark over in the forward pocket. He's sort of dropped down the order a bit from the start of the year. Where do you see his season shaping up? Yeah,
so he's a boy, basketball background boy that hadn't really until last year focused on the footy. So he's still got a lot to learn about the game sense stuff. But he's got the great attributes of speed, electric speed, and that vertical jump is quite special. And so you do see moments in every game you watch him. So I think down the track he's going to put it all together. Yeah. So I think he'll thrive in an AFL environment. Get in there and learn all of the finer points of the game and positioning and the footy smarts, if you like. So really, he's the raw material. So he's one of those that could be anywhere between the old 15 and 40 sort of thing. I think he's good enough to get onto a list with those brilliant bursts that we've seen throughout the year at TAC level.
It should be good. All right, Kev, thank you for taking time like you do every year. You come and have a chat to us during the finals, and normally we're up at Princes Park, but we've got the travelling circus, and we've got prime time for the grand final on a Sunday night. Yeah,
that'll be great. And I'll give a plug to the AFL Grand Final weekend just to confirm, because there's been a couple of venue changes. So the under-17s will play now down at Geelong on the Friday at 1:30, and that's obviously free entry, and it's not broadcast by AFL.com or Fox. So it's the under-17s, the futures game, if you like.
Yes.
Then Grand Final day, it'll be the draft-eligible players at 10 o'clock on the MCG. That'll be on AFL.com, but that match now swung to the MCG for the draft-eligible players for this year. So they're two big all-star games for this year. It'll be Team Harvey versus Team Enright. That's Brett Harvey, Corey Enright, the teams are named after. So it'll be the last look at the crop for this year and an early look at the stars for next year, right there in that 24-hour period around the AFL Grand Final.
Grand Final, fantastic work. All right, Kev, great work. Enjoy the final series. We'll take a break. Be back on the other side of this for the second half.
Essendon captain Goddard settles, and he's done it. He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun Josh Dunkley is looking good in his debut match. NG, the power behind Gippsland Power. For the past 19 seasons, NG, Loy Yang B and Hazelwood has been kicking goals with Gippsland Power as major sponsor. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! If you love your under-18s footy and want to know more about the future stars of the AFL, then check out AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central is the only AFL draft-focused website providing draft profiles, power rankings, video highlights, exclusive interviews and all the stats you need on the up-and-coming stars of the TAC Cup. To check them out, visit afldraftcentral.com.au, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter at AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central, proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio. Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. For all your workwear, head down to Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. High-vis long and short-sleeve work shirts just $5. Expect to pay triple elsewhere. High-vis wind cheaters in fluoro, orange or yellow, just $8. Sizes all the way up to 5XL. If you mention this ad, they'll throw in a 3-pack of work socks free. Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. Proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup Radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes Store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au.
TAC Footy Profit Nixon on taccup.com.au and the Red Time Sport iPhone app. This is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Victoria Park, thanks to Kevin Sheehan for joining us at half-time, and the third quarter action is underway. Take it away, Rick.
Oakleigh Chargers lead 52 to the Knights 22, a 5-goal margin here. We're in the middle of the ground. Harmon, the tall ruckman for the Knights, getting a lot of the tap-outs today with the size, but well done that time by Longbottom. Gets it to Rough's Edge, who works it down towards Charlie Thompson. Spoil. In comes Wooler with the boot down towards half forward. Stanford picks it up beautifully. Dishes off the handball, gets it back, goes towards goal and slams it through for the first of the quarter. Excellent play there by Daniel Stanford to score a goal and get that margin out to 36 points now. And this is a dangerous part of the game, Matt, where Oakleigh have that slight breeze and can either put Northern Knights away here in this third quarter or the Knights need to find something.
Yeah, it's delicately poised, isn't it, the game at the moment. The goal on half-time from Toby Wooler and then that one there from Stanford's really hurting the Knights. They've got a lot of work to do.
Beautiful palm work by Harmon to Caulfield. Gets it down towards half forward. Awkward bounce and high tackle. And the free kick going the Chargers' way that time to Matt King. Underrated performer, like his work at half-back. He goes wide to Ed Richards. Definite shiny red hair there. And he's telling him to get out of the way there, the captain. And Ed Richards, who we were told at the break by Kevin Sheehan that he is related to Ron Richards and Lou Richards there.
Famous name.
Famous name here at Victoria Park, that's for sure. Now Matty King gets it at half back and he goes short to the lead, but intercepted there by the man we spoke about and who needs to spark him up a bit, Petruccelli. And he goes to a long, long lead and a push out there to Keenor, who'll take the free kick at half back for Oakleigh. Keenor chips towards the goal square, and this is a dangerous one over the back, but it still favours Oakleigh. They'll get it out with a couple of handballs, and this will be an intercept by Penrith of the Knights. He goes inboard to the ruckman in Harmon. Caulfield just knocking up, getting the ball, and a beautiful spear pass out in front of that player in Della Rocca.
Almost a slips catch.
And it was a good mark, wasn't it, under pressure trying to get to it, and he'll have a shot for goal. There's a little bit of left to right with this one, and it's going to take a decent kick into the teeth of that breeze.
Tell you what, though, if he kicks it, they might get a bit of confidence and all gather around him because it is a big kick.
He's going to kick from about 48 metres into the breeze. A little bit of left to right in this kick. And he comes in and kicks and hooks it, and it's just straightened up on the goal line. Attempted mark. They're right on the goal line. Couldn't get a boot to it. And through for a behind. 23 plays 58.
Got to lock it in here, the Knights.
Richards with a spearing kick out wide. Gets it long. He's found his teammate in Rowell who gets tied up with it. Gets all tied up with it. Eventually it flips out the back. And a kick around the corner by Troani. Gets it towards centre wing. Nice tap over to Whitehead. They work it clear. Dreyer in the front position. Brings it to ground for the Knights. He wins the ball. Gives it to Caulfield. He's everywhere at the moment. Knights just trying to steady, but they couldn't get that clear man out in the open. And there'll be a ball in, about 60 metres out from the Northern Knights, the Oakleigh Chargers goal.
Caulfield, he's just a really impressive player, isn't he? I don't know, Kevin was talking about him at halftime, but just the class that he has and the composure with the ball in his hands. He's probably the safest pair of hands out there.
Yeah, I think he's a top 8 pick for sure. Anyway, Knights driving it forward through Binion, goes towards half forward. There's Keenor intercepting, gets it to ground, allows his teammates in. Ed Richards sidesteps beautifully, goes with the right hand. Big intercept by Harmon and Federico. They can't break away, the Knights.
Well, they've got numbers here.
Good tackle, rough's edge, over the top, long bottom. Diving attempt by Penrith. They can't get away here, the Knights. Flicked out the back door. And that'll be Farciano trying to work it clear. He goes in the middle, finds Caulfield, who does well to take the mark and feed off the handball straight away. They'll work long to half forward out in front, just pushed off at that time. Here's Petruccelli, chips it inboard, overcooks it a little, and a spoil through for a behind. Did well there, the defender in Warren, Matthew Warren for Oakleigh, to get a fist on that.
Again, it's that last kick inside 50, isn't it? They look
let them down all day.
They look real dangerous going up the corridor, but that last execution's failing them.
Stacker dishes it off wide, and they'll go towards the outer wing. Whitehead's a target, had it, and just couldn't gather it out of bounds. Centre wing, city side of Victoria Park. And we've got Harmon this time up against Longbottom. Longbottom working hard. He's trying to use his body. Harmon just gets the hand off. They'll drive it inside 50. Charlie Thompson's the target. He works his player under it. Whitehead, dangerous forward, chips it inboard to Wooler. Easy as you like, and he takes the mark. Wooler, 35 metres out, or 30 metres out, on a bit of an angle.
Seems to be they're giving Wooler a lot of space to move into in around that 20 metre to 40 area region, and he just able to sprint out of the goal square on the lead and take the mark. He's done that about 5 times today.
Helps when they use it that well as well. Very good passing. Wooler comes in. Been a real focal point down there for the Oakleigh Chargers. Comes in and kicks hard and through the middle. That's another one to the Chargers. Seem to be getting the upper hand here. That's the second for the day. And the Northern Knights still trailing. I'll just get that update, Matt. 3-6-24 the Knights, 10-4-64. It's out to a 40-point margin on the NG scoreboard, and we're 7 minutes into this third quarter on the Technica time clock.
42 goals for the season for Toby Wooler, our first multiple goal kicker today here at Victoria Park.
Harmon with the tap out, but Oakleigh have the numbers through O'Neill, kicking it towards full forward. Up they go, over the back it goes. Binion with the ball, gets tied up by Wooler, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. Still a little bit of a niggle in this game.
Him also out of frustration now for the Knights.
And there's a free kick going the Knights' way this time. No, sorry, it's going the Chargers.
Guess who?
Toby Wooler.
Where do you think he'll fall in the draft, Britt?
Oh, I think he's your key big centre half forward type that'll go. I think he's one of the best ones in the draft this year. But numbers are hard for us to predict, aren't they? With the big men especially, they do take a while to come on. But he looks, you know, a good player who's always going to contest in the air. He'll definitely go, that's for sure. Toby Wooler. Going to go for the right post here, comes in and kicks in the right area and through for his third of the day. Playing a great captain's game, Toby Wooler. Now, 11-4-70 to 3-6-24. They're running away with it with the breeze, Oakleigh. And we're 8 minutes into the third quarter.
So the Oakleigh Chargers, who are likely to win now, will either play the Dragons or Bushrangers next week. The winner of tomorrow's elimination final number 4, that is in week 1 of the TAC Cup finals.
Ball up in the middle, uncontested there. Uselak thumps it forward. Oh, they're trying to get it through Howe, can't quite get away. And it's back in the middle. Oakleigh just stopping any forward movement from the Knights at the moment. So the defensive game's just as good as their attacking at the minute. They went without it there, tapped forward. Again, Knights can't break away. Rough's edge with the clearing kick down towards half forward. Bounce of the ball favours Hewitt. He does well, gets tackled. Very aggressive tackle there. And the umpire will ball it up.
And there's that space again, if you look over the top of the pack. Willer's standing in the goal square.
Lucky he didn't land face first there. Just a very hard tackle. Tapped out to Day. Day in open space, out in front of Wooler. Over the back it goes into the goal square. Northern Knights getting back. Oh, they overrun it. But Penrith in the end's able to get there and paddle it over. And that is another behind. And the Oakleigh Chargers 71 lead the Northern Knights 24.
Bringing the ball back in for the Knighters is Penrith. Spots up his teammate in Naish. Kick into the centre, straight to Isaac Keenor. He's going to send it back from whence it came. Collier Dawkins. He goes lateral. Now the big thump forward. The big men fly. Wiggins double punch. Penrith takes the crumb. Nice evasive skills in the end. Gets it over to Maxi Dreyer. Dreyer lays off the handball to Caulfield. Caulfield goes in short. Just overcooks it to Mitch Andrews, and the intercept mark taken for Oakleigh. Kicking forward is Matty Warren. It's a big kick. Wooler at the back. Hewitt takes it, but over the boundary line and out of bounds. Forward pocket. Good crowd here.
Excellent crowd, isn't it, when you get the chance to walk around. Helps having the two games together as well.
It does. I can tell you one thing, it's warmer in the sun than it is up here.
Ball thrown in, tapped forward by the Knights. Yogi with the hands. Can't quite break away. They just have all the answers at the moment, Oakleigh, and there's Matty King. Just got poleaxed as he tried to take that mark, and he'll take the kick from 50. He's one of their unsung heroes. Very good off halfback. Consistent player.
Another one you like the ball in the hands of.
He's going to have a shot for goal. Got a little bit of a breeze. He's probably kicking from the perfect spot here if you're going to have a long shot for goal. With the breeze over his right to left shoulder.
And Uzlak's in a bit of strife too. He was in the hands of the trainers, and I think he's indicating he's going to come from the ground. He was the one that got caught up with King.
So King comes 51 metres out. Bit of a helicopter into the goal square. Punched away. Trying to break away, but Oakleigh again, aggressive tackling. Puts the pressure on the defenders, and out of bounds it goes. We're 25 around from the Oakleigh Chargers goal. Now we'll have Uzalak back in there for the ruck contest. Good to see. He's up against Stanford. Uzalak at the front. Stanford over the back. They'll try and run it out here. Caulfield with the handball. Oh, tackle, but they got the kick in. Yogi's onto this one. He finds Dreyer out the back to, that was Andrews. They run in and out of trouble. Caulfield's in trouble. They can't break away. They've just got too many numbers around the ball here, Oakleigh. But eventually the Knights find it until they handball into their teammate's head. And that kick under pressure, Lentini. They work it to half forward, but here's a go. Oakleigh will clear through O'Neill. He gets the 1-2. Through the middle they go. And kick towards Wooler. Again, too long. Over the back, he doubles back. They had to come off his man there in Wiggins. Made the choice, but it wasn't a bad one. Eventually out of bounds it goes. They've just got all the answers at the moment. And pressuring the Knights really well as they work it forward.
100%. Well called. Boundary umpire. We are 30 metres around from the Oakleigh's goal. They're kicking to the Yarra Falls end in this third quarter. They've got a very healthy lead in this final. I think they'll be playing at Simmons Stadium next Sunday in the prelim. Sam Hart puts in a shorty and finds Charlie Thompson. He's marked right on 50. He's got a couple of options here, and he finds Sam Hart, who's just snuck inside 50. Now Thompson wanting to do the same. Sam Hart. Let's check this, see him out for distance, or he's going to...
He's got breeze behind him. Should be able to get there.
On a 45-degree angle, he'll kick from 45 metres. Kicks. Look at that. Beautiful kick for goal, Sam Hart. And that is his first goal. Have I got that right?
Yep.
And Oakleigh move it on. The NG scoreboard. They move on to 14-5-76 to 3 goals 6-24. 12 goals 5-77. Now we've got it to 3-6-24 on the NG scoreboard, and the Technica time clock has ticked over till
15 minutes.
In the ball, in the middle it goes. Keenor gets the handball out wider, and they're just using it so well. It's found Williams. Dylan Williams goes long. And a nice contested mark there, long bottom. Doing well for his team today. He gives it across. He's got the runner in Bajaya. A little toe tap there, attempt there, but Dreyer went without it. Wooler kicks down towards the square. Up they go, and Stanford takes the mark. Juggling mark there. Did very well, put up the long dukes, and he will kick for goal. This shouldn't cause him too many problems. And he's only 12 metres out, and should be able to just put this through, you'd imagine. Daniel Stanford puts it through. Another goal to Oakleigh. They move on to 13-5-83. Bit of a blowout at the moment. 3-6-24 the Northern Knights, and that is on the NG scoreboard. We're 16 minutes into this third quarter on the Technica time clock, and they just have all the answers at the moment.
They do, and you can start to see with the Northern Knights, they're starting to get dejected. Hands on hips, heads down. Just disappointing the way that the year's finishing off for them.
Ball comes out. Wilson gets the handball to Lentini. That was a throw. Gets it to Patrick Howe. Comes over the top. Andrews kicks up forward. They need a mark. Spills to the ground. And umpire will come in dispute and toss this up. We are 30 metres out from the Knights' goal. Kicking to the Hoddle Street end of the ground. Just thrown up. Harmon gets the tap. Andrews tries to run onto it. Can't get a boot to it. Now Lentini's kick is smothered. O'Neill kicks out wide. Collinson couldn't get it. Howe for the Knights. Just spits it out. Intercept. Caulfield. Lovely handball. Andrews kicks to a dangerous spot. Comes over the back. Beats Della Rocca, and it's over the boundary line and out of bounds. Right in front of the Sharon stand. Ball to be thrown in. 20 metres around from their goal. See what they can make of it here. Harmon taps. Stanford roves it. Aiton Delaney gets it across. Stacker kicks an up and under. It's almost come up here. Bounced out. That was out on the full. Sam Binion to take the resultant free kick.
Just
Falcon.
the trainers on the head.
Always funny.
Oh, hang on. Is it? No, throw in.
Bit of a photo finish there.
Throw in. They've just taken the word of Toby Wooler, was it? Yeah. Toby said, "Oh no, I touched it." Not taking too many tricks here today, the Northern Knights. Ball thrown in right in front of us. Tap down. Wooler. Smothered kick. Taken by Fascioni. Ball in dispute. Wilson gets it, and he is collared by Charlie Thompson.
Thought that mark was there. He seemed to get both bites. It was a kick that was a bit too adventurous all the same. And we'll have a ball up. Dumped down. Oh, he's crashed through there. And Troiani gets it down towards half forward. 1-on-1. Up they go. Bring it to ground. Thompson paddles it. Wooler gets it. Rough's Edge gets a high one. He'll take the free. And we are 52 metres out. Pushing and shoving. Rough's Edge will play on and kicks out in front of Charlie. And Thompson takes the mark, gets collided with. And they'll say no, take your kick from 45 out, directly in front.
Notice that Matt Day's been spending a bit of time forward in this third term for Oakleigh.
Well, he's got a bit of size about him, so he'll give him that extra marking option for a running player. Day's 189 centimetres. So just waiting for Charlie Thompson. He's kicked one so far today, and he'll come in 45 out directly in front, and he connects a little bit left and just sneaks in for a behind. And 84 plays 24. We're out to a 10-goal margin now.
Of course, following this game, it is the Dandenong Stingrays taking on the Eastern Rangers. Ball brought back in, looking for Shea. Oh, big fly there by Williams, but comes off hands and over the boundary line, out of bounds.
Jamison Shea's had a quiet one, hasn't he?
Yep, he's someone that we've seen play very, very well during the year. He's a 19-year-old. Up she goes, tap down, Rough's Edge. Little sneaky handball to Hewitt, but again, working in a tight space. The ball has found the boundary line, will be thrown in again.
Seems to be the issue with the Northern Knights. Too much has been left to too few. And some of the standout players just haven't been able to rise to the occasion.
Ball in dispute, trapped under a few. Now it spits out the back. Penrith. Caught in a tackle was Mark Baker. And we'll have another throw in. We're inside 50. Time check. 22
minutes.
Shadows of three-quarter time. Wooler gets the tap. Little scoop out the back now. Wooler's got it. He's been very, very good. Collinson kicks a bender right into the square. Off hands. Through for another behind. 13-7-85 to 3-6-24. Knights to bring the ball back in. Comes over the back, doesn't find its target. Whitehead, little handball. Rough's Edge does the 360. Now it's a bit of a kick up in hope, looking for Thompson, but nice mark taken for the Knights there by Stefan Uzelac. Deep in the heart of defensive 50. He's got Paddy Howe, and Howe's got some work to be done because Stanford intercepts. He's going to drive it long. Probing kick, the big men fly. Lovely mark taken there for the Knights, and that is by Joel Naylor. His kicks doesn't meet its target. Now they've got a chance, the Oakleigh Chargers. A handball into the square, Lentini. He's in a bit of trouble. Little kick out has found Sam Hart.
Just quickly, have a look at all the Oakleigh players scattered around just inside 50 all by themselves. The way they set up, they are structurally beautiful. I don't know if you can use those two words together, but they are just well drilled. Always, they find themselves in the right position.
We're right behind this one. Sam Hart, 45-degree angle. He will kick from 40 metres out. Comes in, kicks. Lovely off the boot.
Oh, hit the woodwork.
Hits the post. 13-8. 86 to 3-6-24. NG scoreboard approaching three-quarter time on the Technica time clock.
The kick out from Farcione. They're just not even getting that kick in the back line right at the minute, the Northern Knights. McKenzie gives it to Penrith. He runs off, gives off the handball. Federico kicks long towards centre wing. They've got a man out there, and he'll swing it towards the middle. They'll work it towards half forward. They bring it to ground. Nash didn't want it. Sorry. Should have went a bit harder there. Play on's a call. Centre wing. Out to O'Neill. And out in front of Toby Wooler. Toby Wooler at half forward. Goes inboard, and there's the siren for three-quarter time. I think the Knights would be happy with that. They've had a pretty horrible quarter, and they didn't even trouble the score, or they got two behinds.
Two behinds.
So they moved on to 3-6-24 to 13-8-86. Now, the goal kickers, Matt, have you got them?
3 to Toby Wooler, 2 to Daniel Stanford, and then singles to Jack Ruffs, Hedge, Charlie Thompson, Ed Richards, Jordan Troiani, Hugh Longbottom, Sam Hardy, Jack Hewitt, Luke Stacker, the list goes on. And then for the Northern Knights, just the 3 goal kickers, Patrick Naish, Jack Pietrocelli and Ethan Penrith.
Three-quarter time here. It is all Oakleigh Chargers. Following the conclusion of this game, the Dandenong Stingrays taking on the Eastern Rangers. You are listening to TAC Cup Radio, watching us live through the TAC Cup website.
Essendon captain Goddard settles, and he's done it. He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun Josh Dunkley is looking good in his debut match. NG, the power behind Gippsland Power. For the past 19 seasons, NG, Loy Yang B and Hazelwood has been kicking goals.
This quarter, we've just got to finish off our work, right? Everyone communicating, everyone talking. We've got 45 minutes left. Let's put on the throat now. Let's keep going, okay? Well, we've done it all game. We've got to continue this through, okay? Don't give in, boys. Don't give in. Keep on communicating, everyone talking. Here we go, boys. Let's go, okay? Finish them off, boys. They don't play team offense, so we can just destroy them in the one-on-one.
Exclusive interviews and all the stats you need on the up-and-coming stars of the TAC Cup. To check them out, visit afldraftcentral.com.au. Like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter at AFL Draft Central. AFL Draft Central, proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio. Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. For all your workwear, head down to Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. High-vis long and short sleeve work shirts, just $5. Expect to pay triple elsewhere. High-vis wind cheaters in fluoro orange or yellow, just $8. Sizes all the way up to 5XL. If you mention this ad, they'll throw in a 3-pack of work socks free. Cowboys Cash and Carry, Unit 1, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown. Proudly supporting TAC Cup Radio.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM Media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup Radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus, check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes Store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
TAC Cup Radio has its own Facebook page. You can find it by searching for TAC Cup Radio. Like the page and be kept up to date with everything that's happening in this year's TAC Cup season. Have your say on any topic, including the best on ground and the players making their mark on the competition. You can also find the Twitter handles for our commentary team so you can interact during the match. They all love talking about the next thing in TAC Cup footy, and you can let them know your opinion. TAC Cup Radio on Facebook. Like it now. Footyprofit.com.
Standard's been good. Level.
Go, Stack. Let's go. Inside. Let's go. Let's go. Big quarterback. Let's go now. Come on now, let's go. Put on the throat.
Back here at Victoria Park, it is all Oakleigh 13,886 to the Northern Knights 3,624, and out on the ground is Matthew Cox, and he's speaking to Craig Notman, talent manager of the Oakleigh Chargers.
Yeah, Craig, you're up by a fair margin. Are you happy with the performance overall?
Yeah, pretty happy. We were sort of a little bit worried earlier on. We've had a pretty ordinary week in terms of injury and illness, and a couple pulled out this morning. So to be sitting where we are at the moment, we're pretty happy with that, and hopefully the boys can finish off. Certainly the message that they're getting right now.
You mentioned off air that you're missing a bit of height in the side today, but Longbottom's been really impressive in the ruck and around the ground.
He has, so when you look at what we've got out, Ned Reeves, Bailey Griffiths, we're going to play Ethan Phillips in the ruck. We actually had two of the talls pull out this morning, both one injured, one ill, so sort of got to go to plan C, D, E, I think, with the way that we've gone, but Hugh's done a terrific job, which is great to see, playing a role that's quite unfamiliar.
Mentioned the margin before, quite healthy in the Chargers' favour. What are you looking to do in this term? Is it to continue to try and put the Knights away, or is it just to take the foot off the throttle and begin looking towards next week?
I think the message that they're getting is just finish it off and put the foot in the throat and finish off. Don't flirt with form. We finish off the game the way that we've been going, and that's the message that's come from Clarkey. So hopefully they can do it for us.
Is there a specific area that they're looking at?
Oh, I think the big thing for us is just the work rate. All well and good to work hard when the ball's in our hands, but I think the big thing that we really strive to achieve is making sure that when we're defending, the boys are working hard in that defensive mode. So fingers crossed it can, or they can do the right thing for us.
Really appreciate you taking the time out to chat.
Good on you, Matto and Craig. Oakleigh already dispersed and are in position, and the Northern Knights for the last time in 2017 break from the three-quarter time huddle and bring it up every year. But for a lot of players, this is their last bit of under-18 footy, TAC Cup footy.
Well, you think the way the scores look, the Northern Knights, a few of them will be either moving on to other competitions or getting recruited.
Correct weight. As the big crowd comes off the ground. And tomorrow we're making our way up to Ballarat, 2 games at Mars Stadium. We will be seeing the Geelong Falcons taking on the Gippsland Power, and then the Sandy Dragons taking on the Murray Bushrangers tomorrow on Mars. All right, I think just about everyone's off the ground. The umpire just has one more check around. He's going to put that red TW Sherrod in the air. Siren sounds. Last quarter action. Take it away, Rick.
All up in the middle to start this final quarter. Up they go. Harmon got a hand on it. Goes back inboard. They dish it out. Ooh, can't quite break away Longbottom. The umpire will ball it up. Binion the tackler. Middle of the ground again. Up they go. Longbottom uses the body well. Nash runs onto it. Gets a kick. Hit his teammate in the face. And kick out of trouble. Oh, they've got a run here. Through the middle they go. And there's a free kick. Collier Dawkins got it through to the half-forward flank there. I didn't see the free kick. And it looks like Hewitt's going to take it. A kick out of trouble there. Just got his teammate in the face there. But Hewitt will have the shot for goal. Comes in on the left and kicks it beautifully through the middle. It goes. And that's Hewitt's second. He's been good on the forward line. Bit of a lively type. And that moves the score on to 92-24. Oakleigh Chargers killing the Knights at the minute.
Now we understand, and quite rightly so, Rick and Matt, that there's no betting on... you can bet on anything, but you can't bet on TAC Cup footy. But if you were framing a market, Rick, I think Oakleigh would be pretty juicy odds. And getting turned in as we speak.
For the grand final, you mean?
Oh, for the premiership, Rick.
Yep.
They're very, very good. Knights have got the ball out. Considering they haven't got Jack Higgins playing today, I think that's, and they've lost a couple of players this morning. They've made a very good account of themselves. Stanford marks on centre wing. Wheels around on the right. Kicks into the middle. Bit of talking involved. Taken by Rowell. Rowell goes long, long, long. Punch through by Penrith. Good work. Through for a behind. 14-9-93. 3-6-24. Farcione to bring the ball back in for the Knights. He looks for the skipper in Caulfield. 2 bites of the cherry and he marks it. Handballs to Wiggins. Wiggins puts in the little dinky. Finds Della Rocca. Della Rocca kicks to half forward. Bouncing footy. Gillard spins into trouble. Caught by Aiton Delaney. Dispossessed. Chargers have got the numbers. Need to be clean. Gillard to apply some pressure. Stacker, little sneaky kick around the side, long bottom. Just loses his feet. They get it across. Sweeping handball. Hart can't keep it in. And it is over the boundary line, out of bounds. Between half-back and wing on the Johnson Street side of the ground.
Harmon up against Longbottom. Caulfield underneath them with Day. Playing on each other there. Down to the front it goes. Sharked away nicely by Collier Dawkins. He goes along the wing, goes back and gets it. They've got enough players to feed it off and kick to a dangerous spot. O'Neill at the back. Thompson gets it out. Can't quite hit his target. Oh, good pick up Penrith. Couldn't quite break away. Here we go. We got a shot on goal. That was a little wide by Rowell. Through for a behind. And the Northern Knights to kick in through Farcione. He's going to go down the middle by the look of it. Looking for an option. Now he plays on and goes wide. Kicks it very high. That'll bring rain. Thumped away by Matty King. Over the line it goes. Yeah, he could have marked it. And just thumped it out of bounds.
One of my ones, Rick.
Deliberate in Crooksy's eyes, but
you can kick it 70 metres. It'll bounce end on end, over, and dribble out. And I'll say deliberate.
Ball tapped to the front by Harmon. Rough's edge gets a high one. Out to Harmon it goes. He'll just wait on it and then he'll kick it to a contest here. 1-on-1. Keenor brings it to ground, gets it, handballs it to his teammate in Hart. He gets the 1-2. Gives it inboard to King. King over the back. They've just got numbers everywhere. Stanford ends up with it, running through the middle. Kicks towards half forward to a lead. They bring it to ground. Whitehead gives it to Hewitt. He goes over the top to Charlie. Thompson on the left, spears it backward. And
that's our AFL Draft Central goal of the day.
Right up there. That was Charlie Thompson. And is that the contender or right up there?
That's it.
That's it, you
Don't
reckon?
We've had another contender today. They've all been line and length.
Yeah, there was a snap earlier through Rough's edge, but...
All right, NG scoreboard. It is 15-10-100 to 3-6-24. 5.5 minutes in on the Technica time clock. Harmon gets the tap down. Caulfield's kick smothered. Petrocelli applies the tackle. Umpire looks, gives them plenty of time, but then comes in and decides he'll toss this up. Right in the middle of Vic Park. Beautiful blue skies in Melbourne today. Thompson works it out the back to Hart. Hart has found O'Neill. Xavier O'Neill, centre wing. Puts in a handball to Sam Hart. He's got a shorty. The skipper, Wooler, work, just barges his way through. Feeds it off to Sam Hart, who's got a man on the lead.
Ooh.
Mark Spilt. Farcione for the Knights. Takes the crumb, kicks out wide, and Paddy Howe's got it. Howe on half-back. Looks, props, stops, kicks. Kicks to centre wing. Not pretty off the boot. Ball gets punched front and square. Keenor gets it. He's wrapped up in a tackle, able to get rid of it. Now it comes out to Stanford. Stanford, long probing kick, looking for Wooler. Comes over the back. Ball in dispute. Nice tap off the ground by the Knights. Lentini on half back. Needs to play on, and he does. Paddy Nasha's got it. And he's off to the races. Just gets tackled. Couldn't break it. Lentini. This way, that way. Might have been a bit fortunate there. Now Wooler. Wooler gets it back to Hart. Hart. Eventually in the hands of King. Gets it across, and Troiani. Troiani, not a lot to kick to at the moment. So buys himself a bit of time. Looking there. No joy for Oakleigh. Knights get to clear through Mackenzie. Finds Lentini. Getting a bit of it in this quarter. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Mark taken by Gillard. Gillard just gets himself into a bit of bother there. A bit of trouble. Caulfield gets it. He's dispossessed by Richards. Holding the man. Holding the ball. And Ed Richards takes it on the left boot. Looks for Wooler. And Wooler marks at centre half forward. Top of the 50-metre arc. He's into the breeze. Going to be a bit tough to kick from there. But wouldn't put it past the big fella. Goes in short to Stanford. Just over his out of his reach. Now the Knights are a bit of a show. They go in short. Good work there by Federico. Federico hits a target. Just comes off the chest. Back to Federico. Could have Binion. Just comes off. Can't quite take the mark. Aiton Delaney runs through centre half back. Has time to stumble. Collier Dawkins, 2 bites of the cherry. Lays off the handball. Goes to Williams. Works around his man. Drops in the pass to Wooler. Football 101. Textbook footy by the Oakleigh Chargers. Champagne football.
Really like that young player in Dylan Williams. On the left, he's just a stylish player and moves well, does the right things. And this guy here has just tore him apart today, Toby Wooler.
Love a captain that turns it on in the finals. I can remember a former Oakleigh captain called Darcy Moore doing this in a final series a couple of years ago. Toby Wooler going for his 4th goal. Kicks, drills it to the right.
Missed a few today, hasn't he?
Yeah, the radar's been off a bit. And coincidentally, that's 15-11-101 to 3-6-24. Knights to bring the ball back in.
And Mackenzie goes wide out to Harmon, who takes the mark. Been in their best today, the Knights. Harmon. He'll kick down the line, and Federico cut one in the throat with the ball. Charlie Thompson gets it and strives forward out in front of Day, and he takes a nice mark in the pocket. About 40 out from goal. Matt Day, he will kick from that boundary. So it won't be easier from that pocket with the slight left to right. So Matt Day comes in. Just opens it up a touch and kicks it behind. Now the score, 102 to 24. Runaway win to the Oakleigh Chargers. There goes Andrews to the outer side of the ground for the Knights. Penrith gets it and loses it. They give it out to a runner in Oakleigh. Matt Day with the handball over the shoulder. Umpire's letting it go. Day gets it back onto the left. He'll centre this to Collier Dawkins, but a good intercept mark that time by Lentini. He plays on, gets into trouble. Gee, they know how to run into trouble today, the Knights. Kick is long, outer side. Inside it goes to Nash. He'll handball to the runner, and that's Yogi. He'll put it out in front. They'll try and work it out of trouble, but there's Hewitt with the intercept, which they've done pretty well today, Oakleigh. They'll force the handball. That was Rowell. And the Knights just holding him up nicely there. And we'll have a ball up 60 metres out from the Northern Knights goal.
Been flat-footed most of this second half, especially.
Have they ever?
Kick to the square, one-on-one over the back. No mark taken. There he is again, Dylan Williams. Takes it, runs it away, spears the pass. They couldn't quite hang on to it. Out it goes. Nash gets it back. He'll kick to the square. Over the top, juggling attempt. We'll have a shot on goal when Teeny misses through for behind.
Bit of news on the bench. Dreyer came off. He got collected at centre half back for the Knights about 2 minutes ago and was in the hands of the trainers for a little while. And Ed Richards looks like he copped a knock to the head. He's got a bit of a blood nose.
All right, King to bring it in. Little kick to himself. Gets a couple of metres and then drives it to half back. Collinson to Keenor, back to Collinson. Finds Charlie Thompson. The handball over the top to Collier Dawkins. Gets a handball of sorts away. Uzelak. Little kick, big Harmon. Thump. Kicks it. All Oakleigh charges. And they repel. Ends up with Rowell. Does the give and get. Now he runs through centre half forward on the lead. Bit too easy. And Matty Day has taken the mark for the for the Oakleigh Chargers. He'll kick from 40 metres out, directly in front. Has he got a goal yet? No.
No.
Might as well join the party.
Would be their 11th goal kicker, I think, if he does.
Day comes in. It's to the right and through for a behind. Scoreboard check. It is 15 goals, 13, 103 to 3-7-25. Not a pretty scoreboard for the boys from Preston City Oval. Caulfield on centre wing, gathers it. Kicks along the line. Binion goes forward, Matty King. Takes the mark. Kick out wide, Rowell, handball on, O'Neill. Handballs with the left hand, rough's edge, back with Rowell. He's got Troiani loose, Troiani on the end of it. The left footer likes to wheel around to the left. Kicks up, Charlie Whitehead's got it, just inside the centre square. He's got Sam Hart all alone. Hart, not a lot of opposition, looking for the skipper. Can't quite take it. Front and square was Thompson. Penrith. Sweeping handball, Andrews. Now it's caught, Harrison Grace. He's dispossessed. Lentini. Handballs, gives themselves a bit of space. Little kick up forward, Jamison Shea marks it. Shea. Kicks across, looking for his skipper in Caulfield. Good enough for mine. Good mark, Nick. He will take the mark. Couple of kicks out from goal. Going to the Yarra Falls end. They're zigzagging back to Shea. Not Shea, sorry. That was Max Baker. Mark Baker. I think Max Baker was a jockey, Rick, from memory. From Tasmania. Mark taken for the Northern Knights. This is Sam Binion. He'll kick from just outside 50. And we're 16 minutes into this last quarter. Binion kicks, won't make the distance. Whoa, Jack Petruccelli looks for half a fly.
Push out.
Push out. Went up for 4 acceptances. Oakleigh to take the resultant free kick.
They'll kick out from the goal square. Matt King looking to play on. He does. Kicks long. Federico like this one. He gets it to ground. Gillard bursts through the pack. Kicks towards the square. Up they go. Punched away. Bring it to ground. Bit of a high one. Play on's the call. Again, Oakleigh with numbers. Just getting back to hold them up. And there'll be a ball up or a free kick holding the ball. And the free kick will go to Ayrton Delaney. He chips it wide. He's got Warren down the line. Good spoil. Yogi brings it to ground. Goes and gets it again. Federico, been good in the second half especially. Finds Petrocelli. What will he do? He's wobbled one straight to Oakleigh, and they should be able to clear again. Stanford gets the handoff. Ayrton Delaney will go short, and an intercept Federico. Couldn't quite take it. Now Wilson chips in a 10-metre pass. Caulfield gets it. Was told to play on. Wilson runs into trouble out of bounds.
It's a story of the day for the Knights. They've had their hands on the footy for about 5 minutes now, but just can't do anything with it. And Oakleigh just continue to swarm around them and just put that pressure on, causing the errors and the mistakes that we've seen right throughout the game.
Ball thrown in. Comes over the back. Caulfield flies a handball out, and all wrapped up in a tackle was Marcus Lentini. Ball to be thrown up 45 metres out from the Knights' goal. Baker, Ayrton Delaney, handballs out. Lentini got the gift. Can he finish it off? Kicks cross the face behind. 3:8:26 to 16:13, 103. NG scoreboard. NG, proud sponsors of the Gippsland Power and of course TAC Cup Radio. 8.5 minutes in on the Technica time clock, also proud sponsor of the Northern Knights Technica. For all your stoves and ovens, hot plates, the boys from Technica up there in Campbellfield.
Just another indication of how poor the second half has been for the Knights. They've only kicked 4 behind since half-time.
Throw in, 60 metres out from the Knights' goal. Let's see if they can score here. Baker up against Stanford. Baker to the front. Stanford paddling it underneath it. Dreyer gives off the handball. Tackler was Trelawney. The umpire will ball it up. Outer side, boundary side. 65 out. 26 plays 103. Knights trying to work it out of the trouble area. Play on's a call. They let it go. Another pack's formed and there'll be a ball up. 60 out. They're just trying to get a passage of play, the Knights. They're really struggling to actually link up here. And Oakleigh have defended really well today. They work it inboard. Lentini tries to spoon it out, can't. And it goes back in, and they're trying to work it out of there again, but the umpire will ball it up. Lentini at the bottom. He's had a good last quarter.
He has. I think the other thing that makes the Chargers so good is that everyone plays their role to the maximum capacity, no matter where they're thrown around the ground.
Yeah, they've been fantastic today, right across the ground. That
combined with that structure that we were talking about before, just makes them almost impossible to beat.
Umpire lets it go, out the back door it goes, towards the Knights' goal, but Oakleigh with numbers. Get it out wide to Stacker. Stacker takes the mark, he'll just hold it up for a minute, then he plays on. They'll kick long to a contest. Toby Wooler, up he goes, brings it to ground. Oh, he's gone down badly there. Oh, that's a bad sign. He's in a lot of trouble, the captain. He's landed on his foot and hopped straight off. That is bad sign there. Now it goes to Penrith. He runs around for the Knights, gives off the handball. Gillard streaming to goal and kicks it just to the left. Keep an eye on him, Matt. Toby Wooler.
He had an ankle issue when they played Bendigo in the early stages of the game, but ran it out.
He did too.
Yeah, he hurt himself there. And now Dreyer, he slips over. Gives off the handball in time. Gets it back. Drayard have a shot on goal for the Knights. And a little left through from behind.
All right, score check. NG scoreboard. 3 goals, 9. 27 to 16, 13, 103. Charges to bring the ball back in. Stacker marks it in the back pocket. He's in no hurry as we go past the 22-minute mark of this final term. It's a big up and under. Over the back, Williams couldn't mark it. Harmon tries to get a little kick away. Now Williams kicks it to centre wing, bounces over the boundary line and out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. Shadows of the siren. We'll have a small break in between the two games, the Dandenong Stingrays and the Eastern Rangers. Promises to be an absolute beauty as Caulfield gets a kick on the outside of his boot. Down the ground, says the umpire. Jamison Shea to get the resultant free kick. Shea kicks a spiral into the heart of 50. Gillard turns, snaps, bounces it through. Well done. Braden Gillard gets the Knights' first goal of the second half. And they move it on to 4 goals, 10. 34, I believe, to... It's a good idea to stand in front of the scoreboard when you're looking after 2 guys. To...
15-13, 103, Crooksy.
Thank you. I appreciate the attendants doing the job. Just think they could have clearly get out of the way.
23.5 minutes into the final quarter. And Harmon taps it, but they've got the rover in Richards. He does well to give off the handball to Thompson. Out in front of Whitehead, who missed it. Thompson goes and gets it again. Gives it to Hart. Back to Thompson and kicks towards goal offline. Exciting player, Charlie Thompson.
Yeah, I like him. Be very interested in your blokes, the votes for the Nixon Finance player of this game.
Kick out by Uzalak. Goes long. Goes very long. Out of side. Brought to ground. And again, we've got a tackle, and that is the siren. Shorter quarter here in the final quarter. And the score reads 15-14, 104 the Oakleigh Chargers. And they have defeated the Northern Knights 4-10-34.
Yes, Rick. Have you got the goal kickers?
I think I've got as many as I can. I've got... will that suffice, Crooksy?
Near enough's good enough, Rick. I reckon I'm missing one. Don't know how that...
I think I've got them. 3 to Toby Wooler, 2 to Charlie Thompson, and also to Jack Hewitt. Singles to Ayrton Delaney. We've got also Ed Richards, Troani, Longbottom, Sam Hart, and Stacker. And singles for the Northern Knights, Gillard, Petrocelli, Naish, and Penrith.
All right. Well, we were sort of hoping for a bigger effort from the Northern Knights today. A few more, a closer contest, but yeah, they did. They just that first quarter, Rick, where they were in with a show. You could see they came to play, but they're undisciplined. They're just their real disciplined acts cost some goals on the scoreboard, and all of a sudden you're 4 goals down, and you're never really in the hunt after that.
Oh, that's true, but I think you've got to give credit to the Oakleigh Chargers for the way they went about it today, their attacking style and also their defensive style, because the Northern Knights just couldn't get it out in the open and get it to run because there were so many players around the ball for Oakleigh. So any handball that came out of trouble found further trouble, and they just couldn't link up and break through the Oakleigh defence, and they were just fantastic with all facets of the game.
They were very, very good, and they live to fight another day, the old Chargers. They're into the preliminary final.
They are. So they get a week off?
No, they'll be down
straight there next week, is it?
Down at Geelong next week. And coming onto the ground is Matt Cox for us. He'll get a couple of players to have a chat to. And
the big story of this game is great game by Toby Wooler, but he went off very sore in that last 5 minutes with a foot or an ankle, lower leg anyway.
All right, who have you got on the ground for us, Matt, for footyprofit.com.au?
I have with me Hugh Longbottom. Hugh, a bit of responsibility put on your shoulders today with a few of the big guys missing for the Chargers.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, we've got a few injuries at the moment, but no, it's good to play my role and, you know, get out there and have a crack. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Good win for boys.
How did you find it? Because you were going, I think you were missing about 9 centimetres compared to the big man Harmon for the Northern Knights. So how did you go about it?
No, it's all about just got to have that early leap, and especially around the ground as well. You know, obviously I'm not as tall, but I can, you know, around the ground, you know, pick the ball off the ground quite cleanly and all that. So it's just more of a, it's a very it's a mindset thing. But no, yeah, it was a good experience.
And in terms of the game, considering it's an elimination final, even though you finished on top, was that brought up prior to the game?
Yeah, it was. I think we sort of treated it like any other game, to be honest. You know, we've played pretty well the last few weeks, so it's good to back it up and get out there and have a good win. So we'll look forward to next week now, and yeah, very excited.
We'll go and enjoy and celebrate, and we'll see you down in Geelong.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good work, Matt. And if you can prize one more out of the pack there for footyprofit.com.au. And the Dandenong Stingrays are on the ground for the next game. And I reckon you've got Charlie Thompson out there, Matt.
You'd be right, Crooksy. Charlie, another good performance for you today. 2 goals up forward, and you spent a bit more time up the ground as well.
Yeah, I just think that's one of the positives of playing a team like we have. We have so much versatility. We had a few outs today, and guys can just come in and play any role. And yeah, I play forward, especially when the team's bringing it down like it is. You've got guys streaming out of the midfield and putting it on a platter, so it's good.
Everyone seems to play their role, whether, like yourself, you're up forward or you get moved into the midfield. You all play at 100%, and that's a great advantage in this final series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's always been the strength of Oakleigh. You know, we have 70 guys on the list, and a lot of them play different games throughout the year. And you know, with a couple of weeks before finals, we get all our boys back, and we've got so many guys that can then fill in the team. And spots are so competitive, and it's just great that we've got the versatility and we're able to put a performance like that together today.
What's a result like this? You pretty much smashed the Northern Knights today. What does that mean now heading into the last couple of weeks of the season?
Yeah, well, I think the scoreboard reflects a good win, but they're still a good side, and we had to put together a good 4-quarter performance to get the win, and that's a really good confidence builder. And we know it's only a 3-week final series, so we go to Geelong next Sunday, I think, and we're going to play a pretty good team, whoever it is, and you know, we just keep putting our best foot forward because every week's a new challenge, and you know, we're just loving it.
Well, congratulations on a great win today and a great performance yourself personally. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
Good work, Matto, out there. So I might get Rick to run through who you thought the better players were for the losers today, the Northern Knights.
Yeah, I thought the player that we just spoke to, Charlie Thompson, was
for the
fantastic.
Knights,
oh, sorry, for the Knights. For the Knights, I think Gillard tried hard throughout the day without being a star. They didn't have many real stars in the game. I thought Marcus Lentini did quite well throughout the game, especially in the second half. Same with Alex Federico. Nick Caulfield was pretty fantastic all game. I thought Ethan Penrith tried very hard throughout the day. The other movers in Kai Yogi I haven't seen a lot of so far. I thought he was pretty good. Good size about him. Della Rocca looks like he's got a touch of class as well. But yeah, there just wasn't enough numbers around today for the Northern Knights and for Oakleigh. We'll look at Oakleigh. I thought Charlie Thompson was fantastic again. A real consistent performer and gets a lot of the ball for a forward. I liked Rao when he got it and ran. He looks good when he ball. We'll see a bit more of him as time goes by. Stanford, consistent performance. Richards, Longbottom in the ruck did well to compete. Jack Hewitt up forward I thought did pretty well, and Whitehead as well. Keenor, another great game by him. And it's just and I really like Dylan Williams on the back line, and Matt King as well. So it was more of a team effort, I thought, rather than standouts by Oakleigh. They were just winners all around the ground.
They were. That leaves us with, for this game, our... I don't think there was any doubt on the mark of the day. Went to Jack Petrocelli.
Petrocelli, yep. That
late in the second quarter.
Footyprofit.com.
And the AFL Draft Central goal of the day, Charlie Thompson, about 7 minutes into the last quarter here. Not a lot of goal highlights or mark highlights today for a game played in pretty good conditions. As
Yep, go on.
Yep. So they're those two, and then we just need our votes for the Nixon Finance player of this first elimination final. I'll take the new ball. I gave, now look, honestly, you could run the 3 votes for the people you don't give a mention to, because there was that many good ones for Oakleigh, but I gave 1 vote to Sam Hart for his constant running and work through the middle. I gave 2 votes to Ed Richards for his run-off half-back, and his goal was just superb. And I gave 3 votes to the skipper, Toby Wooler, who I thought led admirably, kicked goals, and just led the way, and I hope he's okay with his foot.
All right, I gave 1 vote to Nick Caulfield. I thought he was tremendous all day and battled hard for the Northern Knights, and I thought it was an even effort by the Oakleigh Chargers. I gave 2 votes to Charlie Thompson. Again, he gets a lot of the ball for a forward come up the ground player, but he was really good again today. You could have thrown in a couple more for Oakleigh there, but I thought best on the ground, Toby Wooler really shone today. Did what we know he can do as a key forward, but he just dominated that forward 50 area, and hoping the injury isn't too bad.
I'm going to also give 1 vote to Nick Caulfield. I agree with you, Rick. He was probably the best player for the Northern Knights today, and it's just his class and composure, especially across that half-back region when the Knights really looked panicked throughout the game. As soon as the ball got in his hands, you knew he was going to do something positive with it, and kept trying all day as well. The Knights sort of fizzled out, especially in the last half, and I think he kept going. So I'm going to give him 1 vote. 2 votes for Hugh Longbottom. I thought an impressive effort going up against the big man Harmon for the Northern Knights, and the fact that he was probably only told that this morning, considering some of their late outs. I think that was a big responsibility to step up to. Didn't do anything too flashy, but played the role as best as he could. And 3 votes, the Nixon Finance Player of the Day, Toby Wooler with 3 goals. Looks dangerous inside 50, but that ankle issue might hamper him over the next couple of weeks. When I was walking out on the ground, he was still on the bench, and then finished up on crutches.
Well, let's wish him the best, but unanimous for Toby Wooler. 9 possible votes, and he got the whole lot of them. So well done to Toby, captain of the Oakleigh Chargers. He might have to go in one of those hyperbaric chambers, Rick, which only ever gets a run in September, I reckon, the hyperbaric chamber. You only ever hear about it 1 month a year.
Yeah, you do, but he'll need all the help he can get at the moment.
Toby
Wooler, he was fantastic today, and I'd be surprised if he turns up next week.
Yeah, the amount of pain he came off the ground with doesn't look good.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and on the other side of this, the second elimination final today between the Dandenong Stingrays and the Eastern Rangers.
Essendon captain Goddard settles, and he's done it. He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun Josh Dunkley is looking good in his debut match. NG, the power behind Gippsland Power. For the past 19 seasons, NG, Loy Yang B and Hazelwood has been kicking goals with Gippsland Power as major sponsor. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power!